Hello, folks, and welcome to Wind, Reel, and Print. My name is Ryan, and today I am once again joined by my partner in crime, Chris. Welcome back, Chris.
Hey, I said I would be here every time, and here I am again.
Again, yes. Happy to have you back with, I think I'm calling this fantasy filmmaking. Part of me is jumping all over, and hopefully I already decided by the time this is posted, but we're here for another episode of that, and where we come up with new ideas that Hollywood is desperate for. We have producers on the line. I got one just standing right outside frame that is just taking notes. And so we're here to set the future of Hollywood. How's that feel?
People don't know this, but we do record these in the old Deal or No Deal studio, and there's producers up above, shadowy producers, and you know, when we have a pitch, then the phone rings, and they're like, "All right, we'll offer you this much for this movie."
Yeah, I just love what they did with your part of the studio. Like that's a really cool background and everything like that. It looks very lived in, which I think was a cool direction to take.
Well, it's, you know, there's all this talk about Hollywood elites, and are you and I Hollywood elites? Absolutely, but we want to make it appear that we're everyday people in lived in 500 square feet apartments.
Well, you don't. Okay. Now you make me feel sad. So here we are, producers on the line, and we're here to set the stage for the next the next trilogy of that famous series, Star Wars. Now, Star Wars has had its ups and downs. I think that's fair to say, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think even the most staunch Star Wars fan would agree.
Would agree. It has a fandom that also is very hot and cold. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know, I think Star Wars as a property is really scary.
Yeah,
I'll just say
I'd agree with that. This is a one that every, studio would love to get a Star Wars movie or project out there, but also a property that none of them want to touch because the fan base could revolt on them.
Exactly, because it has now become a cultural thing, and it came up, the sequel trilogy kind of came up at a really a bountiful time in American history, and just slid right in there in the culture war. So we love that. Really love that.
Yeah, I love when all my politicians talk about movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. That, you know what? I'd rather them talk about movies than talk about the other stuff. So maybe that's a better future.
Maybe.
Yeah. But they probably would have really bad takes anyways. So
yeah,
not really worth it. So here we are. We're going in the muck. We're getting a little dirty.
Yeah.
To figure out this new Star Wars trilogy. Don't really have like a perfect direction to go. Chris and I have some ideas that we're going to bring to the table, get excited about, pick and choose a little bit, and then start building it out. And hopefully by the end, if all goes well, we will have a trilogy that is more thought out than the sequel trilogy. So that's
a low bar to clear, but I think we can do it.
Yes. So I think just if we could, before we jump into that, what is your Star Wars history? Like, what's your relationship with the property?
I have seen all of the movies and a handful of TV seasons, but nowhere close to all of them. If there's a lot of expanded universe stuff that may or may not be canon. It kind of, everybody goes back and forth. I don't know like any of that stuff. There are a couple of names that I've heard thrown around in the fandom, but they mean nothing to me. Could
you try and say one? Do you think
sure well, the one that immediately comes to mind is Mara Jade.
Oh my gosh, I was like, I know Chris is gonna get that one.
Yeah,
nice. So that's a good one.
That's one. And I think this character appeared in one of the shows that I didn't watch, but like, is Cad Bane? Is that the name of the character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Cad Bane is kind of this blue. See,
Right.
I guess I'm a little deeper in the lore, but I think if
Yeah.
there's any serious fan, they're going to laugh me off stage. But he is a bounty hunter. He is one of the
Yeah.
bounty hunters that ends up uh, being a mentor for Boba Fett. Um, and so I think he's in Book of Boba Fett or
Yeah,
The Mandalorian, maybe both.
I think it's yeah, it might be both, but I think it's Book of Boba Fett, which I watched half of and never finished.
Yeah, respect. I
Yeah,
respect
it's
that.
just like a lot of the content that gets churned out is I've come to realize is not worth my time or subscription fee. So
Yes, all right,
um
respect.
but I mean, I also have not seen season 2 of Andor and I would like to. So there
Same,
is like a bit
same.
of a
Yeah,
there are exceptions to the content machine, but
yeah. And I think most people would make a distinction between Andor and a lot of the other stuff. Like that
yeah.
one seemed to have built up, or at least bubbled up past kind of some of this other stuff.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
But overall, I like Star Wars. I don't have like, it's not a franchise that I feel especially close to.
Yeah.
I like that original trilogy. The prequel trilogy I know has gotten a lot of retroactive love
Yes.
that I don't necessarily personally agree with, although I think that some of the concepts were interesting. I don't know that I feel like they were executed especially well. And I also
Yes.
feel that way about the sequel trilogy, especially the first two. I know the Last Jedi is very polarizing. I
Yeah.
don't think all of it works, but I overall liked the movie.
I agree with that.
And I really did not like Rise of Skywalker. And I didn't care for either spin-off movie, either Solo or Rogue One.
Yep.
I did not see the animated Clone Wars movie. I guess that's the one movie I haven't seen.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
What's your history with Star Wars?
Yeah, mine is, I was a huge fan for so long. Obviously had the original trilogy on VHS, watched them over and over again. And when the prequel trilogy came out, I mean, I think we were both the demographic for that trilogy because they were kind of aimed towards younger kids. And I mean, I was 7 when episode 1 came out, and then I was 13 when episode 3 came out. And for a 13-year-old, when episode 3 comes, I mean,
Yeah.
that was next level. I mean, that was like perfect for me. I remember playing with lightsabers and stuff all the time. So like culturally, I was like really steeped in it. I really liked it. I think I mentioned in our previous episode, like I had written a like little fan fictions,
Right. Yeah.
and it was like I would mix all the Star Wars characters together. I had so many board games and video games. It was like my number one. I loved Jurassic Park, but like in terms of like a universe, I really, really love Star Wars. And then come to the sequel trilogy, and I loved Force Awakens. I thought it was really great. I enjoyed it. I watched it, you know, at least half a dozen times in theaters. I watched it a lot. That was like the most I've seen a movie since I saw Jurassic Park 3 in 2001, like a dozen times. So I was an adult. I went by my own, I drove myself to these movies. I really wanted to see them. I also wanted to collect these posters. I was like also really into just all the stuff. The hype for Force Awakens was next level. I think anyone that can remember that, it was something else. And J.J. Abrams is really good at that. He's really good at building hype. Turns out he's just not good at landing the plane.
Yeah.
Like that's just what he can't do. And so really loved Force Awakens. I think like the ending, I was like, oh, I didn't really, like with Han Solo dying and stuff, but I also was like, fucking, they've got a plan. Like I'm going to trust it. And so that's also like, I really was like a firm lore believer. Like, and I kind of thought, that they had plans, because also in Star Wars, like they really love the details, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like every character in the cantina of episode for A New Hope has a name, has all these things. But I would soon come to realize that that's all done after.
Right.
That's not a pre thing. That's a post thing. That's them adding meaning because they just wanted to go deeper and deeper. Turns out it was like for action figures and things like that, if we're being like really cynical.
Yeah.
But because that's a big money maker for Star Wars. But and Last Jedi, I liked for the most part. I was like, I did enjoy it. I liked that it did something different. I was confused about a few things, but I was like, you know what? At least it's something.
Yes.
And like that's the Rian Johnson promise in general. Is like you're gonna get something. He's got a voice, and that's something I like. And that's if I were to say like what I think Star Wars needs, it needs people with a voice. I think more than anything than just like movies made by committee. Movies made by two people like us, that's not committee.
That's not committee.
Those are two exceptional creatives coming together to share minds.
Yeah.
So not the same. So don't come at me. But and then Rise of Skywalker comes out, and that is one of the most awful things I'd say. I mean, it's very reminiscent of Domain or Dominion, Jurassic World Dominion, where it's just like, all right, we're going to end this big. And we're going to do all these things. We're going to throw a lot of stuff. Like it's not going to make much sense, but we have a lot of scenes in our heads that we got to just connect.
And we have a lot of references that we want you to applaud when you recognize them.
Yeah. And so like for the most part, I liked Rise of Skywalker, like for the first, maybe third, it kind of felt like it had an Indiana Jones kind of adventure-y quality to it. And then it just starts to deteriorate. But yeah, so the sequel trilogy made me kind of fall out of love with Star Wars as I kind of started to realize like, oh, they have no idea what they're doing. And then it came out that like they had no plan.
Right.
Like, and then they basically like, there was such a visceral reaction to The Last Jedi that they started to like re-triangulate. And it's like, you got to commit. You gotta exactly. That's my thought is like they should have at least just done something, because they also just tried to retcon so much of what happened in The Last Jedi, and so it just felt so wishy-washy. It felt very corporate, and so that's kind of. And then after that, I've seen a lot of the TV shows. I had a hard time. I've seen like a few seasons of Clone Wars, of Rebels, but I haven't been able to really get into those. And then didn't watch Acolyte. And I haven't seen the second season of Andor, but for the most part, I'm just like, if a show nowadays, I treat Star Wars like I treat anything. It's like if I used to treat it like with this immense amount of respect, and I would give it my time, and now I'm like, you kind of have to earn it.
Yeah.
That's definitely where I'm at. So really, really big fan. I really respect it. And as I was waiting for you to jump onto the call earlier, I was listening to Star Wars music, and it just, the waves, it started to come back, just like sitting in the theater, hearing that music. You just know like an adventure is about to happen, and it's very exciting. So yeah, I guess one more question, just maybe this can give us like an idea of like where our minds are. Do you have a Star Wars episode that you like the most?
I think I like episode 4 the most. I know Empire Strikes Back is the big popular answer.
It's the fan favorite.
It is arguably maybe the better movie between the two.
Yeah.
But I like A New Hope because I generally like setups.
That's such a good point. Like setups are great.
Yeah.
Like it is the best part, is like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, writing the beginning of scripts and things and coming at the beginning is like the best part.
Yeah.
Like, I have so much fun. It feels so easy and freeing. And then it's like, wait a second.
Yeah. And my favorite, you mentioned it already, but I think my favorite location, I guess, or set piece is the Mos Eisley Cantina. I mean, that little music that they play in there is fun. And just, here's the worst place that people can be, all the worst characters. I think that's fun.
Yeah. And it's got such a great quality to it. And I don't even think we're going to get into like George Lucas kind of coming back in and changing so much. That's an interesting thing. Is George Lucas and all this. But yeah, no, I really like the Cantina. Just a little aside, do you know what the music is called? The jazz music in Star Wars is called?
Have you heard the name? Jizz music?
It's called Jizz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's straight from George Lucas too.
Different time.
Yeah, exactly. Like so you won't hear them saying that much, but it's on Wikipedia. That is a real website.
Yes.
So
your favorite?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I like so many for different things, but I think A New Hope is generally like the most enjoyable to watch and the one like I really respect. And then Empire Strikes Back I think is the best made. It's the best sequel. It's one of like the top like making a sequel to a movie and doing it that differently. That's what you really respect, I think. From things is like when they really try to change it up, go with a different kind of tone. But then Return of the Jedi kind of comes and it's just like it's now something totally different in a lot of ways. And so even that, like, but Episode 3 has a special place in my heart. Revenge of the Sith. Like there's like something, even though you watch it, it's like so corny and cheeseball and just like it's the way those movies are shot is so strange. But you really believe like George Lucas is like he's following his dream, and that I love. Like at least like I wish kind of like George Lucas kind of kept going because he's a freak. You can tell he's a freak.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to what you were saying. I mean, especially with those prequels, like that is his voice, and that's why those all feel like a cohesive trilogy. Even if I don't like 2 out of those 3 movies, I like Revenge of the Sith enough. Like, but
it's well enough.
Yeah.
But the first 2 are oh god. Attack of the Clones is something special.
Everybody rags on Phantom Menace, but I think Attack of the Clones might be worse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I watched it and I was just like, what the hell is this? And like, Episode 1 is bad, but at least like it's got something interesting. But maybe it's because it's a setup. I think setups just have
that could be
a lot of time is spent setting up, and I think that's the cool part. And then like, all kinds of crazy stuff in Episode 2. But now we're kind of talking about like what, these are trilogies. And so trilogies also have like a role to play. And I think we're going to have to go into what that is. You have the setup and then you have some twist on that, I would say, kind of with the second one. And then the third one is like the resolution, you get into kind of big battles and things like that too. But how do you make it smart and not like Rise of Skywalker where it's, that all the ships coming out of ice and them riding horses on the side of Star Destroyers and stuff like that. Little ridiculous, but you also have to embrace ridiculous too. It doesn't have to be like so grounded, but like, how do you, how do you figure it out? And how do you have it like have that emotional core as well? Which is kind of tricky, I would say.
For sure. I guess, as we start to get into what we're going to build here, I have a time period, I guess. Ooh. Or not a time period exactly, but I know a little bit what I don't want, and that sort of factors into the time period.
Let's start there. That'll give us a really good sense, because I'm very aware of the time periods for the most part. I even still kind of follow it like from a distance. But I think that'd be a good place to start. So where do you not want to go?
Well, I would like to have I would like to be so far removed from the other movies. So I would like to go decades, if not hundreds, if not thousands of years past Rise of Skywalker.
I think you're right on the money.
Okay.
I think we have to okay, I think we're on the same page. References are there. That's too much. We need to completely ditch it.
I think that we can at most, because I do like, and this would be a huge pain to try to work into this trilogy, but I do like that R2D2 and C3PO are in every single movie, even if it's very brief.
That's not going to work.
It's not. But I think that, like, if we're in a junkyard or wherever, and we see
you can have something,
some sort of like passing Easter eggs, I think are okay. But like, I'm Palpatine's granddaughter. Get that out of here. I don't want any of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we're right on the same page. We'll see if we can bring in C3PO R2D2 some ways. I think one thing, like, let's say,
I don't need much, but
something to think about is, like, if we in real life, let's say we go 500 years in the future, 500 years in the past, what do we remember about the past 500 years? That's something interesting. It's like, that's a good way to kind of also indicate, like, what are ideal references that won't feel shoved in, like a character walking in and yada yada, or who's related to who. Probably relations are gone. Like, no one's talking about, like, oh, I mean, I guess some people are like, I was related to George Washington.
I do think that it would be funny to have that sort of, like, thing of, like, Luke Skywalker is my great 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 grandfather.
It's like Futurama with Fry and Professor Farnsworth.
Sure, but just something to, like, because there is always that obnoxious person, and this also kind of fits into the general theme that I was thinking of, which is and this, I don't know how seamless this will be to pitch, so you may need to help kind of streamline some of this.
Bring it on. But I'll be your funnel.
We mentioned Star Wars being in the culture war, unfortunately,
yes,
but the truth is that Star Wars has always had real world and political parallels.
It's true.
From 1977 onwards.
Yes. And even, I don't know how much you know, but, like, even in the like timelines that they do, and which is like, now I'm really getting into it, but it's like after Battle of Yavin, before Battle of Yavin, and whenever you look at timelines, it's like 100 BBY or 10 ABY or whatever. Like, they actually map it out, like 1945 is Battle of Yavin, and so they like say, like, all right, what's the historical relevance, like 50 years later. So that's something that they care about, that sort of thing. Not saying that, but it's interesting. Like, Star Wars does think about things in that way. And obviously it's very clear, like, they were going for a World War II specific reference, but also a Vietnam War reference too, with those first movies.
Right.
For sure.
I kind of want to do that with this trilogy as well. Not referencing so much, Vietnam or World War II, but kind of where we are now.
Nice.
And I think that
the fans are going to love it.
Yeah, it is going to hold a mirror to the fandom a little bit. Because there's also, and not so much, not exclusively the fandom, but there is, like, everybody in the world thinks that they and their ideology align with the rebels, regardless of if it actually aligns with the Empire.
You're talking about in the real world.
In the real world, yes.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yes.
The media literacy of some of all movies, really, at this point. But
yeah, it's true.
But
you're so right.
Star Wars being the big cultural touchstone, a lot of people think that they are on the side of the Jedi, regardless of what they are doing.
That's 100%. Yes.
And I think that if we're removed enough from the Skywalker saga, as it were, I think that our villains are people who are, like, preaching the word of Skywalker,
Mm,
preaching the Jedi teachings, but
mm.
not necessarily doing good in the
Yeah,
galaxy.
I like that. Yeah, because I also like. I think there's something interesting there. Like religions that so many people follow are
Yes,
hundreds of years old, and then
correct.
you get some freaky shit like Mormonism or Scientology or something where it's like, all right, let's switch it up, and
Yeah.
that can be something too. I like that idea, kind of like almost like holding a mirror up to the way our relationship with religion nowadays.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You get to feed the fandom a little bit
Mm-hmm.
by giving them some words that they know when to cheer. When
Yes. Yeah.
that
This
that can be
still
important because they are, sometimes they need a sign that says clap, clap
for
now.
sure. And you
Yep.
can, you can even, I don't know how extreme you want to go with like the quote unquote worshiping of some of that stuff, but you can be
Yeah.
like, 500, 600, 1,000 years ago, Qui-Gon Jinn said, and then everybody
Yeah.
goes,
Ooh.
oh, that was Liam Neeson, I remember.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
get all excited, but we don't have to see him or be like, oh, and here's his nephew. Like,
Yeah,
we don't have to do
exactly.
any of
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. The Book of Qui-Gon or something like that. You can do because, and this is where some of the ideas that I was thinking of might start. We can kind of bleed them in here because
Sure.
I was looking up like the themes and things of Star Wars. Knighthood, chivalry were a big one, but also like Jungian, like Carl Jung
Uh-huh.
concepts as well of like the shadow, the mother, um, and things like that. And then also there is a religious element to some of these movies too, like the messianic element of Anakin, who is born without a father, born from like a virgin mother, and then also is like the chosen one. So very clearly playing with the Christian thing. And I started looking up like, okay, what are some really cool what are some things from religion that we could pull?
Yeah.
And just because I think we also need to think of like what is because I think that's a great setup, and that's a great like, all right, let's now we kind of have an idea of the world. Now we need to think of what's the thing, what's the problem or whatever. So one idea that I really liked was and that a lot of religions have, so because I was also looking up like what is something a lot of religions kind of combine with that is kind of like innate in human storytelling, and one of those is the flood. You
Okay.
got Noah's Ark or anything like that. And I started to think this is just an idea because I started getting really interested in the wiping out, but not in like a Thanos way or anything like that, but almost like the force is deleting, like
Okay.
something like maybe the flood um analogy can be like the connection is disappearing or something, like something is being destroyed and wiped out for something. So there's a kernel of something you can work with, is like the connection is being lost or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
um I also think that there's some interesting like the horsemen of the apocalypse, or thinking about like apocalypse stuff and what that looks like. I also started to think of like Adam and Eve as well, like thinking of like I don't know, I started just trying to come up like figure out like the apple or something like that, like how we, and I guess I was watching Wake Up Dead Man, I started thinking of the apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that ends up being a part of it. But yeah, I was like trying to merge those ideas, but the flood was the one that came out the most strongly for me. um what are your thoughts on that? Is that something we should keep moving towards, or should we try to look at something else as like a what the big, because obviously there's been the Death Star, there's been Star
Right.
Killer Base, you have base, I mean, kind of corruption is kind of the prequel trilogy for the most
Sure.
part. That's
Yeah.
kind of like what the thing is, and obviously there's the Clone Wars kind of happening in the background,
Yeah.
but that's kind of more like watching the corruption of the chosen one is kind of the thing that they're trying to stop. So what are your thoughts on the flood, and also do you have any ideas in that direction too?
I like the flood analogy, and I like Um, yeah, I like this angle of religious influence on
Yeah,
this trilogy, which will kind of segue into some of the character stuff that I was thinking about.
cool, cool.
But I don't have a great like example off the top of my head of like of that flood related thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Because I was thinking, I was like, yeah, it's one thing to have like, oh, planets are being wiped out. It's like, okay, that's obvious, but they've done that. Death
Yeah,
Star, Starkiller Base. So it has to be kind of something else where there's something, or maybe there's just like it's like the Rapture where people are just like dropping dead. Like
sure.
very powerful Force users are being, you know, something. I'm not sure. Um,
Yeah. Um I mean it could even be that supposedly a lot of them have already disappeared by the time this trilogy starts.
mm-hmm.
Um and so maybe that makes it even more egregious for some of our villains to be like, you know, uh preaching some of this stuff for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I think that I like the flood thing because the flood is also like even if we don't have a literal flood, but that is like just a visual like everybody kind of knows what that
Yeah, yeah, some
entails and that
sort
it's
of
bad. So
yeah, exactly. And then if we were to like follow it, like to kind of like look at it in a even in a literal sense, is like this escape from the flood is huge, and trying to even stay alive for what was it, like 40 days and 40 nights or whatever the
yeah,
Christian version of it is. There's something interesting there of like taking that and making an analogy of it, um that could be interesting. um yeah.
there's also and I this might be part of why I'm not having things pieced together about this specifically is
Yeah.
much like Finn in The Force Awakens.
Hmm.
I don't think I know how the Force works. So
That's that.
that's
Yeah,
part of the
exactly. and
problem.
and and that's what it was for a long time. I mean, the Force was
Yeah.
just a storytelling tool, really,
Yeah.
to get them out of situations.
Yeah.
You know.
And, I get that, like, some people inherently have it, some people don't.
Yeah.
That's all fine. And then midichlorians are involved in it somehow, but I don't fully know what they are or
Yeah.
what that means exactly, other than they are intrinsically linked to the Force.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know much about how it uh works inside of someone other than you can
Yeah.
like learn to hone it obviously, but
Yeah, I think that's kind of like what it is like it also is and now I'm going to speak all the mumbo jumbo. It's like the thing that connects everything.
yeah,
It's all of these things. It's simultaneously a tool that can be used and honed, and a skill, but also this like innate, like the when people talk about like energy or something like that, it's like that too, where it's just like it's something that connects all living things.
yeah.
Um, and
So if our Force users are dying out, then in my
mhm.
mind that means then their planets are also maybe life on the planets, maybe not with the people
Mm,
themselves, but the
yeah.
vegetation, the
Ooh,
food,
that's a
all
good.
of that stuff starts
Yeah,
to go away.
if you start to, if the force goes away, what does that mean? What does that actually look like? And I don't think they've never done that. I don't think they've ever really like answered like, oh, what is it? You know, what what happens when the connection? And I think, yeah, that's interesting. Instead of like destroying planets, you could also just like the planet becomes just a barren rock.
Yeah, it's not like it doesn't get blown up like the Death Star
Yeah,
would
that's
do,
a
but it's still
yeah.
like the planets are sort of being wiped out, I guess.
Yeah. Ooh, that's an interesting thing. at least is like a different kind of visual thing than they've done before. It allows them to kind of like go to these places that have been like wiped out
Right.
and to kind of like discover things and see kind of the where like they would kind of see an explosion or whatever. You can actually like, yeah, you just have some cool locations and like ruins to explore of like cities and things like that that could be interesting. um and then what does survive, is
Mm-hmm.
another question. Like, how do we break that rule too? And is the force dying, or is it just being siphoned to something else? And that's something that might be answered in the second one or something like that, if that's
Yeah.
the direction we want to go. Because obviously we know, like, let's say we go down this path, we know that by episode 3
Right.
it has to come back.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know that that's going to have to happen, so it can't be gone into the ether forever. Not to say like these planets come back and people come back alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it could be that a lot of stuff, like a lot of life in the universe, does come back symbolically. Like, and this is one of my cultural touchstones instead of
Ooh.
Star Wars, but at the end of the Lion King, right? The Pride Rock, all of that stuff was dark and burned and desolate
True.
under Scar's
Yes.
rule. And then at the end we see that now that Simba's in charge, hey, all that beautiful
sun's back
vegetation.
Somehow.
Yeah, the sun's back, all the plants are back, all the animals are back.
Yeah.
That could be sort of just what it looks like. We don't have to show a ton of it, but
because naturally it will.
Change.
Naturally it will come back.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. You do get to have that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, when the positivity, I guess, comes back, being the force in this case, then things come back.
It could also be, if we like, stars could be dying too all over the galaxy.
Sure, now we have to have a war for them. We have to go to war for the stars.
I don't like that those words together. I don't think war for the stars works for some reason.
I think movie number 1 is Star Wars War for the Stars.
Ooh, that's good. Ooh, interesting. Oh.
Movie number 2 is A Trek Among the Stars.
Oh, nice. A Trek. Very good.
And number 3 is A Star Is Born.
Oh, nice. Wow. All right. We finished the episode in under 40 minutes. Great job. Those are actually fantastic. That's the parody.
Yeah. That's going to be a struggle, is I got to remember.
You got to lock in.
We're not parodying. We got to do the original first.
Okay. Yeah, but something with the stars is an interesting visual, and also it allows for some cool stuff, like cool. Oh my god, I was gonna say star combat, but now we're just like, that's Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's something interesting about that, because if a star goes out, now we're kind of getting into some science here, even though science really is kind of thrown out the window in Star Wars, is that so many things like die obviously with no sunlight. So what does that look like too? And are stars really where we could ask some questions about, like, is like the force kind of like, do they come from these places too? Or are these just like really powerful manifestations of the force as like an energy source, where like we know like the sun is like a nuclear force, or what have you? It's just a big ball of fire. Are these like big balls of force? I don't know. That's not something we necessarily need to answer. That could be like a throwaway, like someone tries to explain it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, then I can't.
Yeah.
Okay. So to kind of, I think we've thrown a lot out here. I'd love to hear some of your character ideas.
Sure.
And then maybe that could help kind of steer this some more, and know what to do. So what were some ideas that you had?
So I have a lot of ideas for villains, and I have one idea for our main character, but I don't have a lot of ideas for who ends up being on their team.
Okay, cool. Well, I can help with that.
Perfect. I think that this is going to borrow a lot from the sequel trilogy in terms of the setup of this main character, at least.
Okay.
Because this sort of combines Rey and Finn into one character.
Nice. And I think even just like, I think it's even good for the movie if you kind of like, you could play up like, hey, we're making the sequel trilogy again, but like turn it fairly quickly. Like it could have a similar setup. That I do like that. Something familiar. Okay.
But I do like the idea of like a lone scavenger on a planet, much like Rey was. So, you know, a young scavenger. We've seen like our characters always start on a sand planet. I don't want to do that. I'm
done. It's gone.
Yeah. You know, I was trying to think of other like terrains and environments, but that we haven't seen, and I feel like we've seen them all. But
yeah, we've seen basically everything. There's so many like I recently played the Star Wars. Is it called Star Wars Outlaws? It's a video game.
Mm-hmm.
And that had a windy planet. That I was like, oh, it's like a lot of grasslands and things. It was windy.
Okay.
So that was like it's quality. So we can also think like environmental like that too.
Yeah, my first instinct for this was not unlike Dagobah. Not Dagobah, but not unlike Dagobah.
Yeah. I think that mixed with, because I also like going in the water world direction too.
Sure, yeah.
Where you could make it like it's under the surface is like where they scavenge. It could be like diving down to like the old cities or something like that. So you can add the kind of that element
to
like it. That. But there are islands. It's not like so water world that there's nothing, but it's like they have had to make and like throw up all of this. Have you seen Waterworld?
I have seen clips. I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah. We did it on the podcast. It's worth a watch. I'll just say that. But you know, there's a really cool thing where this character can build a ship and have it look very like full of all of these parts that are interesting. And it could be even like that. You can throw a lot of references in that too of this kind of raft made from all of these different starship parts and things like that. But then you get to like these islands and there could be like a Dagobah one sort of thing, or they could be more swamp like.
Yeah. No, I like that water planet idea. But the whole idea basically being that this is a planet that people in charge of the galaxy don't care about. This is a borderline nothing planet.
Yeah.
Just lone scavengers and just people picking at scraps and stuff like that.
That's good. Yeah.
But because this is a nothing planet, this is where the villains. Yeah. I mean, so we've had the Empire, we've had the First Order. I don't remember what they were called in the prequel trilogy, if it was just like the Sith
there was the Trade Federation.
Yeah,
the Trade Federation was the like Count Dooku's side with all the droids.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that same naming vein, this is the only name I came up with.
Okay.
But, you know, these people preaching the words of the Force, I'm just going to call them the Dynasty, at least for right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. I like that.
So the Dynasty comes to these nothing planets, recruits these loners, these scavengers, these people who haven't had much contact with the outside world, recruits them to become their missionaries. And so in this arc, our main character who gets scooped up and thinks that and maybe even like the audience thinks, great, they've been scooped up by the good guys to go out and do this thing. And then over time, we and the main character realize maybe these aren't the good guys, even though they keep saying all the Luke Skywalker, all the Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi things. Maybe these
Mm,
aren't the good guys, in the
yeah.
same way that Finn in a 5-minute scene had that like, oh
Yeah.
wait a second,
Wait,
maybe being a stormtrooper's bad.
yeah, very quick.
Yeah,
They moved that on very fast, which I
yeah,
appreciate. I love, I'm happy to be dropped in.
sure.
Um,
But
okay,
yeah, I mean, we could extend this arc, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I like my mind first went to like why this character might want to go, like
yeah,
what the dynasty offers that makes like a scavenger want to leave the life they've always lived and seemingly have made it this far. I imagine they're at least a teenager, late teens,
hmm
early 20s or something like that.
yeah, that's the age I was thinking too.
Yeah. And there's obviously like there's a couple directions to go, which is like because I'm trying to think of like real world examples too, but there's one where this character is trying to has made a bad deal or something like that and is like
Yeah,
quick to leave the planet as fast as possible, and this is an option. It's just like someone like running by and like seeing like, oh, the military's hiring or whatever like that. I need to take this really I got to get out of here. I got to get out
yeah,
of my hometown or whatever. I need to just remove myself. And so there's a couple directions to go with that, which is like, okay, maybe they're leaving because they're trying to avoid, the scavengers or the gangs on their own planet.
hmm
Um, or they want to finally see the galaxy, but you kind of need a hesitancy to go briefly before they have to choose to
yeah,
the debate to go. So it can't be just as easy as like, oh yeah, this is a great idea, I'd love to get out of this. So it
right.
also like their life can't be like so bad that they want. Well, I'm trying to think of Ray does hate her life, I'm pretty sure, and is kind of like looking for any way to get off.
hmm
So there could be that too, which is just like this just blows.
Yeah, I mean, it could be also that, if there's not a ton of people in these on this planet, maybe resources are starting to wear thin, or maybe it's, we're talking about the like stars dying out. Maybe the star for this planet is dying out, and so there's
Oh,
not much
that
time left on
okay.
here.
I like this. So that's the dynasty goes to those planets
hmm
that are on the edge of death.
Yeah,
And maybe it's been going on for some time. And I'm like thinking about how like the conquistadors in like South America and Central America, they went and they had an idea of astronomy. And so they were able to even like say like, they knew a solar eclipse was coming. So they would go to the natives and say like, obey us or we're going to change the sun. Like they would pretend like
mm-hmm.
they have control of it.
Right.
And so there's a way there of that, like they come to these planets to preach like the end times or
Yeah.
something like that. And maybe there is a real end times happening. It's like the flood or whatever, but maybe the dynasty is in on it,
Mm-hmm.
and are very clearly like have an understanding of this. But
Yeah.
I think that is a really good idea of like they kind of come here. It gives an idea of like why they go to where they go.
Yeah.
And gives our character a reason to leave. A pretty good one. Um, yeah, that sound good to you? You
Yeah.
kind
I
of like
think that
that?
sounds
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the characters that I've thought of are more on the villain side, although, as people get recruited into becoming missionaries for the dynasty, uh, maybe our main character gets paired up with somebody else.
Of course.
That we go 2 by 2 to these planets
Yeah,
or whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Gets paired up with
It
somebody else who seems like a friend, and then as the main character realizes maybe these people aren't good,
mm-hmm.
then the person they got paired up with kind of goes the other way, and so they run parallel hero and
Okay.
villain stories, not as our main villain, but as
Yeah.
just another like an antagonist that they're more closely, they have a more personal, close tie to.
Did you ever play the old Pokemon games?
No.
So that's what comes to my mind is like you get a rival at the beginning of the game, which is like a kid just like your age. It ends up being the son of the professor in the game, but there is an overall villain. It's Team Rocket. It's Giovanni.
Right.
Like they have their machinations kind of happening all over, but you always run back into your rival over and over again because they are also kind of on the same journey of self-discovery that you are. So could be a character, yeah, of similar background, but all of a sudden, like when there's this juncture or junction in the road, they decide to veer in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And very quickly you kind of realize but I would imagine, I think it probably would be good that this kind of secondary character is just as naive as our main character. Like still kind of like going through the same things, probably gonna get redeemed by the end,
Probably,
possibly, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of need, or at least one of the things that you kind of need in a Star Wars.
That is a Star
movie.
Wars thing, yeah, exactly. Is you need even the biggest, baddest. I guess Emperor Palpatine was never redeemed, but Darth Vader was, and I mean that's about as big as you can get because you definitely need a villain that is gonna die and be the bad guy.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, yeah, I like that. So. Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing it. It's in my mind. That's the best part of this podcast. I'm watching the movie right now. Right. It's pretty great. Okay. So Water Planet, Scavenger, the Dynasty comes. The planet is on the edge of dying, and they are recruited, brought to this. So a portion of the movie is going to be like, are they kind of like brought to like a headquarters for training? Or do you think like, I mean, the galaxy is so large but obviously it's a great set piece to kind of bring everyone to like their mothership or something like that but you also don't want to reveal too much, I would think, in the first movie, but I don't know. And then they're kind of sent off, but you'd probably want to, if you're like a kind of a bad organization, you probably don't want to send off kids to be your missionaries without like some,
like a supervisor
with someone to make, yeah, exactly.
A chaperone.
Like what do they gain from gaining new missionaries, and sending them off? Obviously there's, you expand the group, but what does that mean? Well, I guess there could be they might be once again siphoning the Force or something, and they need more people because the Force is something that connects all of us, right? And so they need to kind of run the numbers up. They need as many people as they possibly can, and so it maybe doesn't even have to be like that. They don't even have to be that good at their job. These kids that are kind of sent off. They just have to put the word out there. I mean, already the planet is going to die at so many of these places. So it's like, it's not that hard of an ask to get these people to kind of follow this religion. It gives them some explanation of what's going on.
And I think also from the dynasty's point of view, I'm sure that there's an element of like, people are more likely to trust these young-faced people, and so that's why we are recruiting young people, and especially young people who don't have ties to family members or older people who might try to tell them not to join us or whatever. Like that's part of it.
Yeah.
Could be also that the younger people are, spreading the word as whoever they're sent with, like as a distraction, even if they don't know it, for the people who are like then actively siphoning the energy or whatever they're doing. Yeah.
And then,
at what point do you think our main character should find out that they have joined a bad side? Halfway through the first movie?
Yeah, is that the midpoint?
Yeah.
Is that...
Because I think it's got to be before the first movie ends. You know?
Definitely. It could also be the thing that is the ending too. Is like
Yeah.
they all of a sudden everything drops out, and now the second movie is totally different because now they're on the outs,
Yeah.
and that way you've got a time, like a way for the second movie to work versus just like having them in the group but then falling out of the group. So I think like I kind of like a little closer to the end.
Yeah.
There's like this like reveal, and you kind of get the whole movie to kind of have this buddy story, really get to know the rival character really well, and this kind of like this closeness that we can kind of see build up, and I think it'll make it really meaningful.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
You know, maybe some doubts kind of get planted a little bit through the movie, or you know, maybe the rival and them have some conversation and the rival's like, no, what are you talking about, like we're so good. Maybe somebody that they on one of the planets they go to visit is like, you know, bit anti the dynasty or whatever,
Yeah.
and that kind of sparks a little bit of like, we are doing good work, right? It's like, oh, of
Yeah.
course we are. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's how they deal with it too. Like maybe our main character kind of deals with like hearing that and they take it in, where the rival character has this drive to silence them.
Yeah.
Silence these people that say otherwise.
Yeah, I like
so that could be like the first inclination is how they deal with some sort of criticism of this religion thing. That is, I think, like some bastardization of the Star Wars story that we know too. Yeah. Okay. I'm watching it right now. Just watching it. I'm in my seat. I've got an icy in one hand. I'm just drinking that up. Got some popcorn. Okay, what villains were you thinking of? Like what popped in your head?
So we have the rival that would be the end up being a villain through the trilogy.
Which I like a lot.
I think another villain that you could maybe kill at the end of this first movie.
I think that's a good idea.
I guess I guess the easiest parallel is maybe like Grand Moff Tarkin. Somebody who is not the head of the dynasty, but is still an imposing figure. Maybe it's somebody who was part of the recruitment team. Maybe it's, you know, maybe when everybody who's been recruited goes to headquarters or training or the mothership or whatever it is, like this is the person who gives the orientation speech / sermon. Just sort of a,
and they
like,
could be
like a televangelist is probably what I'm trying to pull as the closest parallel.
Because I think there's a televangelist, like there's the head televangelist, but then you have all of these other kind of people around that aren't as important. And we probably, I don't know if we'd want to go full for the top dog, but even Grand Moff Tarkin isn't the top dog either. Right. Yeah. Like in the Star Wars story.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. What, I think we kind of like, if we want to go the direction of like siphoning the Force, like that's kind of like the goal of this character. Then we kind of probably also need another thing above them
for sure.
Too. Yeah.
I don't know what you'll think about this.
All right.
Drop it. You know, the villains in all of these movies, with the exception, it appears, in the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu movie. But it seems like the villain is typically another human being.
I like turning it on its head.
I'm thinking, I guess, you know, he didn't end up being as prominent as maybe we originally thought, but I guess Snoke was maybe not a human being, but
yeah, he was something.
he was
I mean,
something.
I guess
Yeah.
it turned out at the end he was just a failed clone of Palpatine or
Yeah.
some crazy shit. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever is right.
Yeah.
But I was thinking a dynamic that I liked from the original trilogy to parallel again. I wouldn't want this. I wouldn't want these species to be the same as they were in that original trilogy, but I like the Jabba the Hutt and Salacious B. Crumb pairing of like just a big, gross, like grotesque, evil person, and then their like snivelly little weasel.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea of turning that on its head a little bit also, where either in the second movie or partway through the third movie, you kill the Jabba parallel and you're like, we did it, we won. The little like snivelly weasel runs off, but he's so small we can't catch him, but we killed the big guy, so we're done. Only to find out that instead it was the like tiny one that was pulling the strings and
I love it.
making it seem like the big one was in charge. Some allegedly some real world parallels there.
True.
Some big dumb gross loudmouth being puppeteered by a tiny little ghoul behind the scenes.
Yes, maybe several ghouls.
Maybe several ghouls.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Because then you could also get to maybe there's even a council of these little creatures too that we kind of realize like almost like Illuminati.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's like the Illuminati of this whole thing is like all of these tiny little things have been like pulling the strings the whole time. They've been in the ear of everyone. Like you think that it's almost like okay, this is too much, but like I'm thinking about like how everyone, like rich people like little tiny dogs.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
You and think like that everyone's
pets, got basically.
Yeah, exactly. But they've just and it's almost like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where it's like the dolphins are smart actually. Like they've been kind of playing us the whole time, sort of thing. It could be something like that, and then kind of at the end. You kind of realize like, oh shit, the Illuminati Council, the Shadowy Council, are all these little things that we did not expect.
Yeah, I like that. That's a fun twist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Man, 3 movies is a lot.
It is.
There's a lot that can happen in these. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's so we have the basic kind of idea without like all of the details of the first movie.
Yeah.
What's going to happen, how it's going to fall apart. You had also kind of mentioned, were there some other locations that you kind of liked to possibly throw in somewhere?
Not especially. I mean, I think that just like seeing different planets than we were most accustomed to seeing is a big thing.
Yes.
And I would imagine that as our missionaries are going planet to planet, there's a big opportunity for that. And for things like the Mos Eisley Cantina that I like, of just like weird towns filled with weird people and creatures. So that's the stuff I like. So
that feels almost like perfect for where these characters end up going, is like some sort of like backwater bar, because that could even be like a really early, like, because there's some it's like, how funny do you want to get? But there's like, because if we're like turning these characters into missionaries where they're like going door to door, is funny.
It is
like
funny.
It's like, the doors being closed on them.
To hear about Luke Skywalker.
I
think that's funny.
But... yeah. I don't know if you can tell, and they kind of point at the sun, which is clearly dying. It's like, so, this is, and we are here to, offer assistance or hope or whatever.
We'd like to provide you with a new hope, a new sense of hope.
Whoa. Oh my God. Yeah. If it's called like the New Hope is the religion. Even. Yeah. Maybe instead of the dynasty is like the New Hope.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. Yeah, I hope they make this. um, okay, I'm just gonna make some of these notes. Okay.
But so at the end of the first movie, we hit a real tipping point. There's some big event where our main character realizes, hey, these actions don't align with what I thought I had just been taught nonstop about Luke and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Rey and Padme. It's blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. No, keep going. Keep going.
Kiadi Mundi.
Oh, nice. Nice. You got to have another. Who else?
Mace
Come on.
Windu.
All right. Can you get any more obscure on the Jedi Council? That was pretty good with Kiadi Mundi.
Kiadi Mundi might be the only one that I can pull. Yaddle, I guess. I don't know how obscure we consider Yaddle, but
Yaddle I think is fairly obscure for most folks, but that's a good one.
Okay.
Because Yaddle's like doesn't even have any speaking roles in the movie at all. Like Kiadi Mundi, at least like we even see his death on screen in episode 3.
Yeah.
On Maijito. That's the planet he dies on. Yeah. Okay. Just to give you, there's Kit Fisto, there's Plo Koon, there's Eve Koth. Those are some other.
Kit Fisto's the only other one I'd heard before.
Yeah.
Those other ones, I'm like, what?
I don't think Eve Koth we see how he dies, but we see how Plo Koon dies. And oh no, I think we do. I think Eve Koth dies at the same time as Kit Fisto. They die to Palpatine when they're with Mace Windu when they walk in, I think.
But hey, a big event happens.
Yes.
I've realized that maybe I haven't. These people have been. It's do as I say, not as I do, kind of a situation. And I think I need to rebel.
We can't have that.
And then some big action sequence probably, but then I don't know how. Like, I even though I don't know what event happens there at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
I don't know where exactly our main character goes into movies 2 and 3, other than, like I know their goal is to take down the New Hope organization, but
okay, so here there's I think like basically all the trilogies, they destroy whatever the big bad thing is in the first movie. Then it turns out that's not really enough. Like these things come back and they come back in different forms, and it was even bigger than you thought. And so that's when we can kind of like start to reveal our Jabba parallel and our Crumb parallel.
Yeah.
I would think probably not till the second movie, maybe, or maybe like right at the end of the first or something.
I think you can do a
maybe
quick
it has to
scene
be
in the first movie that like is on one of those hologram calls. Like we don't see them in the flesh, but all right. How about our preacher televangelist guy, when he recruits people, we do go to the mothership or what we think is the mothership.
Yeah, exactly.
We go to a big ship where you get fully
a space station of some kind.
Assimilated into this organization. Maybe brainwashed, maybe propagandized too. Like,
and I think there will probably be some really obvious, like, this is where it kind of already is starting to kind of not make, like, there's like a door closes and there's like someone maybe being tortured or something like that. Like there's a couple things where it's like, oh, that's kind of strange, and maybe they question it, but it kind of gets all kind of thrown under.
But and then maybe this televangelist guy has some call that our main character also like gets a quick little glimpse of. With these two alien creatures on the hologram call. Yeah,
it could even be like by accident, like they're like doing something, they hear it through the vent or something like that, like I like that sort of thing too, where it's like they didn't intentionally try to do it, but now it's like being thrown at them like, oh wait, now I kind of have to do something with this information.
Yeah, and it's
They didn't
nothing
really
like
intend to find
they
it.
don't like overhear anything too crazy and
Yeah.
sinister, but just enough to
It's like,
raise suspicion.
yeah, or enough that it's like they lie about what was on the call or something like
Uh-huh.
that. You know, like it's very clearly like, oh, why'd they lie? That's interesting. Like
Yeah.
it's not even like that big of a deal. I don't know.
But
Okay.
all of this stuff is taking place on the big mothership, and then, eventually we're sending them out on their different missionary adventures. But so the end is then destroying the mothership somehow.
Exactly. Yeah.
And in movie 2, at the start of it, we find out that even if our main character doesn't find this out, we as the audience, like, maybe it opens on the New Hope's like planet that they all live on, and it's like this extremely like extravagant like
and it's like
Coruscant or whatever that whatever
yeah,
those
I mean,
planets were.
yeah, that's good. Great job.
Thank
It
you.
is Coruscant,
I'm really
yeah.
I'm really trying to pull these references
No,
out.
I love it, and you've actually you have a success rate that's quite high. So I would believe in yourself. I think to go the other way, I think it's lush. I think it's beautiful. I think it's like, because that's where we start to get like they're harnessing all the Force energy, and this kind of might be starting kind of like saying enforces life.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually like the opposite in a way of these cities of stone and steel.
Yeah.
And now maybe it's just even more like natural, not like Kashyyyk. So not like full like Wookiee, like they've got things in the trees. I mean, maybe, but I feel like, yeah, I'm trying to just think of what it could be. But that would be my
I like
my
that.
thought.
Yeah, I like that more of like, look how incredibly beautiful this planet is, and it's because we're stealing everything from everyone else.
Yeah.
And then, that sort of like, maybe that's where they keep, a ton more resources. That ship that we were on was just one of many, and now we have a full army, like, either on this planet or that we can dispatch from this planet.
Okay. So that's good. So that's our big thing at the start, is we kind of like, we now see the real kind of machinations that are happening. We get a window into like, the other side of these calls with like the big Jabba like characters, like clearly, like they're kind of speaking, even not honestly, even though it's bad kind of what they're saying already, they're even worse when the phone call ends.
Right.
And they're kind of like saying like, they've got some shit to say.
And they've just learned that somebody, rebelled against them and blew up one of the ships, and now they're mad, and they're like, we really have to find this person and exterminate them.
Yeah, exactly. Like it can't get out. Like the worst thing is almost like the idea, like they've cultivated this cult of personality, or just like this idea that like they are infallible, have like there's nothing wrong in any way, and then it's clearly like this sort of story and idea is enough to make people question it. And so maybe it's also like there's this, we could even go a direction of like they're just trying to like mind wipe people or something like that, like it's about killing the idea. But that might just also come from just like, obviously they got to hunt our main character down. It can't be just like, hey, let's just, we got to have some crazy stuff. So yeah, they're going now to try to close the loop on this character and make sure they can't spread this far. Okay.
But what I don't know is who do we start teaming up our main character with? And maybe it's people we met in the first movie briefly.
It's a droid.
Or something. Yeah.
Definitely a droid that I think the droid is the third member of the group. Like it's her, the rival, and a droid.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of like, and the droid, the droid kind of like offers, like knows all the teachings, and so like has like the database of everything, and can be a way. Oh, it's almost like a parallel to like talking to AI, but like they like talk to this robot to try to get answers, and then maybe she could even, this is in the first movie, but can be even like asking questions like you would like within like a chat bot of just like to try to get around what they're saying a little bit. Like that's not true though, like starting to realize like even the droid is lying, and then maybe she like hacks it, or our main character like hacks it to make it actually useful. So yeah, so I think her and a droid, and then they now need a team.
Right. Yeah.
In the second movie it's about getting a team.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, you know, you kind of have to follow some of the tropes. You need a smuggler. I think you need kind of like an alien of some sort.
Yeah, you definitely need an alien of some sort.
Could combine those two as well. I'm just trying to think what other you kind of a smuggler or someone who's really good with a ship.
Yeah, because it also depends on what our hero has the skills of, right? So
they're scavengers. Yeah. So they're clearly good at some machine work. They can get things working.
Right.
And I guess that's kind of like Rey was really good with ships, if I remember correctly, which made a lot of sense with her character. I mean, that's all she did was like look through the guts of ships.
Yeah.
Knew what to look for. Yeah. So maybe, do they kind of like have at least an idea of, so maybe we don't need like a ship character, but it could also, I mean, it's great to have like a ship
pilot,
character.
you know, like,
yeah, exactly. It could be a pilot that like, you know, they're kind of being overshadowed a little bit, and you can have some humor of like, they think they're really good, but then we have like a race or something to like, and then it turns out like our main character's better, maybe even just slightly better. And it kind of like hurts their ego a little bit. So they're like, they still need to like kind of fulfill their ego. So they're like, you know what? I'll come with you because you might need some help. You know, that was a lucky one, but in reality, they just want to like still like make people think that they're good. So that could kind of be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so some sort of like pilot character. Some sort of alien thing. We have our droid. That's kind of, well, we need to know what their mission is in the second movie.
Right.
Because they're clearly on the run.
They're on the run, yeah.
Yeah. And are the bad guys now in like, now that this has happened, are they like turning up the speed on their plan a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that now
there must be
yeah, exactly. Like now it's like
it's now the first time we've been challenged, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So. Like, okay, we need to get this thing moving. Like they've got a ritual that they've been working on for a while, and they like had like a 30-year plan, maybe even longer. Maybe it's like been centuries long, and it's finally like coming to. They finally have been able to kind of figure it out. Now they're like, all right, we need to speed this sucker up. Yeah. Because it needs to happen before she or the lead. I keep. Do we think the lead is a woman?
I do. Yeah.
Okay,
I was dancing around it in case we came up with a good casting for a guy, but I imagined it was a woman. Also, I didn't want to be yelled at for being too woke.
I know. This is.
But
this is
I definitely think
here.
It's a woman.
Okay.
And
I personally like that.
The actress that I have in mind is a woman of color. But...
so I'll default to she, like I've been naturally doing, because I agree with you.
Of course.
So she, the team goes off. We can have like some fun games to try to do it, but I guess it is just like on the run. I like the idea of them, like our main character almost getting captured again by like a different group, not even like a religious group, but maybe that's how this happened. And they're just like desperate, like, I have to keep going. I have to run. Like I'm being held up, and they're like, what are you talking about? And then the bad guys show up, and all of a sudden it's like very clear what's happening. That can convince a character or two to join the group on the run, as they're just kind of like annihilating and everything they can to try to stop them.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So, but so they're on the run, but what should they eventually maybe come to understand is their like destination, do you think? Because they certainly,
Yeah,
I don't know if they would even have like the wherewithal yet to be like, we got to go to the big mothership and
right.
stop them. Now they're just like trying to survive for the most part, but they kind of maybe eventually end up at like someone who's like, I mean, and this is where like the true teachings maybe of Luke Skywalker or whatever become evident, and are like, they now know like, oh, this is what we need to use to fight back.
Yeah, I think that as corny as it might be, especially in
Force
this
Ghost.
initial pose. Oh, a force ghost. Yeah, I don't hate that, but I think if it's a force ghost, I'd love it to be someone we've never seen before.
Ooh, that would be so good. Like they're trying to conjure up Luke Skywalker and it ends up being
Yeah.
Eth Koth.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, it's like some random, but that's good also because it also kind of like says to like, that's all like, who was Luke anyways? Like it, like
Hmm.
we're talking about the Force is this all encompassing thing. Like it could just be like this for like, what kind of information are you trying to get? Like even Luke, I imagine, was very, like kind of sharing of the knowledge for the most part, and didn't feel like they were some special person above everyone else. And so
Yeah,
that could kind of be an showing the characters that kind of teaching of his.
yeah.
But you were saying, so what was
Well,
the direction you were going to
I
go?
think that uh the so at some point in this movie, or in the maybe the at some point in the third movie, but probably towards the end of this one,
Mm-hmm.
even though it might seem corny, I think that our main character should use the force and become force
Yes.
sensitive and all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Cause we haven't even talked about that.
No, we
Like,
haven't.
I don't even think like, cause like, I think that at the end of the first one, like maybe the bad guy uses a lightsaber or something like it's not prolific or anything, but they've created much like Kylo Ren did, like a haphazard something that maybe also just doesn't work. It might be their undoing, in a way, and kind of foreshadowing like this, like, um, moving too fast idea, like even this thing that they've been kind of building like wasn't ready, and the villain is
Mm,
like, no, I need it now, and they kind of use it, and it's like powerful, but it is like it's their undoing, like it's like melting their hand, like it's like they're, something like that I think could be really cool.
I like
um
that. I'm glad you bring this up.
yeah.
I feel like I maybe it was around the time of this sequel trilogy, where the fandom was very up in arms about who can and cannot wield a lightsaber. Are there
Yeah.
rules to that?
No.
Or okay, that's what I was curious
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, I think that if there is, as bullshit.
Okay, I
That's
agree with
bullshit to
you.
me.
I just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That,
if
like, cause
if there were rules, it would be cool to like our bad guy or whatever has a lightsaber like on his desk or mounted on his wall or whatever,
yeah,
but he can't use it. He just like is
yeah,
like, I have to have this. But
yeah, 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 yeah.
um
I think you
if there's
can.
no rules, then I like the haphazard like thing that
Yeah,
is melting his hand or whatever.
yeah, exactly. Like it's like, yeah, the more he uses it, and he's winning, but the more he uses it, the more he's killing himself. But he can't help it,
Yeah.
and that's why you can get like this kind of mad prophet villain in the first movie that I think works really well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Um
So the Force, yeah, I think that it could also be at the end, like as the like fighting is happening, like she goes to cover herself from being hit, like the one
mhm.
killing blow,
Yeah.
and she like stops him in space almost,
Yeah.
and he's like desperately trying to like go in, and like that's even enough, like she's able to throw him back, and that's even enough to like start the other side of the battle basically.
Mhm.
um oof, oof. I like this.
I think
Okay,
that,
what do you
yeah,
think?
well, I agree with you. I think that, maybe someone they're trying to get to in this second movie. I think there are two characters that don't
Mm,
necessarily need to be on the team, like, completely, but there are two types of characters that I feel like we're missing, and maybe you can combine them. Maybe you can. I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense if they're combined in this particular trilogy, but
okay.
uh, a trainer of some sort, someone that does
Sure.
like a historian who's also
Yeah.
who can train a little
And it's
bit
the
or whatever.
real truth,
Yeah.
finally. Yeah. Yeah.
I do think we need one of those,
True.
and I think we need someone in high society, like a Leia, like a
Mm.
Padme, somebody who is connected to the political
Resources.
galaxy resources. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
Um,
really good point, is like they need to talk to someone that can actually help them. Like
yeah.
they clearly are not powerful enough. Um, and even as our main character, because I think what could work really well is like use the force in the final battle with the villain
Yeah.
at the end, and then can't use it again, can't figure it out. And
Yeah.
it's just like all of a sudden trying to use it and it doesn't work. And
Yeah.
there's like, she has to start kind of figuring that out and meets the teacher or something like that, that can kind of have the answer. Um, ooh, and I think could be good. Okay. So I'm thinking like the teacher could be like at the cantina and is
Okay.
basically is using the force for gambling or something like that. And is
Mm,
like, and she kind of notices like, hey, he's a force user. And it's like the first time she's ever like noticed. And maybe he's been in hiding for a really long time and is like a drunk and
yeah.
kind of like a loser character. And ends up like, maybe she tries to like, eventually does kind of like recruit this character to be like her teacher. And he also has some like, um, reservations of like doing this thing, like doesn't want to deal with their past or something like that. But could be something of like a teacher character and has like the resources and even has the connections, but isn't willing at first to like give that up,
Mm-hmm.
but like knows someone in power that
Yeah.
it's kind of like one battle after another almost, where it's like, if one person like clicks the button and sends out the signal,
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff happens. And
Yeah.
maybe he has this key to like set it off, but is like not brave enough to, almost. Like as soon as like
Mm,
meets up with the kind of the wealthy or whatever person in high power, it's like, oh, you're here right now? Like that's not a good sign, almost.
yeah.
Um, or an ex-lover or something like that, and you just have like that kind of dynamic too, of just like, what are you doing back here,
I
sort of thing
like
too, is very
I
fun.
like that ex-lover angle.
Yeah.
I think that, and
Yeah.
that, is part of why, this person's just drunk gambling, is
True.
like
Yeah.
their life is like nothing essentially
Yeah.
now, and
Yeah.
the person that they know, like, they really don't want to go talk to, but they also do really want to go talk to. Like, it's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of battle, and I
Yeah. They're like,
like,
wait, yeah, wait, this person, this such and such, and they're like, yeah, or whatever, and then they're trying to like desperately convince and like appealing maybe to this character's manhood, as well, and is like, hey, I want you to teach me.
mm-hmm,
And that's like, that builds up his confidence a little bit more to like look back inward and see like, oh yeah, I am powerful, meaningful. And that part of this character's journey is to kind of like find that self again. um
I also like the idea of our ragtag team, who are, and this is, not, this is going to be a comparison that is
oh
overused in
okay.
modern movies. So to be
Mm,
clear, I don't necessarily mean in the humor or anything that's being uh used, but like a Guardians of the Galaxy-esque team of like, none of these people should be our
Yeah.
heroes in a Star Wars movie, and yet here they all are. They're all kind of weird, broken,
Yeah.
angry, like a
Yeah.
little gross, and they make their way to this like high society party,
Yeah.
much to the disgust of the other guests. I
Yeah.
just think that's like a essentially like the, even though our characters are good
Yeah.
in terms of their goals, but like that scum and villainy, like gross cantina vibe, like coming to people that would be disgusted and or afraid of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. The second Last Jedi kind of does that a little bit.
A
It
little
has
bit, yeah.
Finn and
Rose Tico.
Rose. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God. You are a master. What the hell? You got the last name on Rose? Do you know what the name of Benicio del Toro's character is?
DJ, right?
Oh, yes. Yes. What is he? Who is Justin Theroux's character that is the actual?
I don't remember his name, but it was something about the like the flower lapel thing that he had, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I can't pull the name.
Oh, I can't remember. Damn it! I was really hoping you would answer this. It's like
I do remember it was Justin Theroux,
not the locks. Yeah. He was great in that. He's great. I just love his. I mean, he's like the king of cameos, like tiny little things. It feels like I do like that a lot. Yeah, he's in the new Fallout show, which is going to be interesting. But we got to cast him. No, I guess he's already been in the Star Wars.
That's going to be tricky when it comes to casting. Is like who's not already in the Star Wars universe.
It's so true. Yeah, you got to get a whole new crop of. Yeah, it's getting a little crazy. Okay. Yeah, I like that kind of ending up in high society. So
I think it's almost like for them, they're not only are they on the run in like a fugitive B plot, but I think they're also, I think their A storyline is like a heist almost to get into this heavily guarded party or wherever this person that they need to talk to, because for whatever reason they have the knowledge or inclination even that this person has the resources and wants to help them also.
Yeah, maybe the only way he can see like his previous lover, like he knows where she's going to be at this party.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like up to him to kind of like pull himself together. And maybe he's like still like drinking kind of like on the side, like desperately, like trying to, he still is trying to grow out of it. Our kind of like drunken master kind of character. But, and then maybe our lead can be like the date or something like that, or like some sort of like protege or servant or something, so that like at least the two of them, and then maybe also the droid, like those three are kind of like in the party where like the other characters are kind of like doing some of the back dealings, like getting ready and something goes wrong or something like that. I also think like you're in high society, all of a sudden the New Hope is there.
Yeah.
Like, of course they're
there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big part of their thing too. And I think they weren't expecting that. And so we finally are back to like, they think they've like escaped the New Hope for the most part, like the actual like guns, but now they're in like the high society. What's the word? Like it's sneaky. It's, that sort of thing. Ooh, yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. Wow. Look at us. Okay. Great. The rival needs to show up at some point in this movie.
Yes.
And I think the rival, when we do see them in the second movie, they're kind of like full tilt bad right now.
Yeah.
Like they've gone completely on the other side. They're not even like thinking about it, maybe. So maybe it's also possible the rival's at the party.
I think the rival is at the party, because then that's extra difficult for our
extra because
main
they will
character to
immediately know
avoid.
who it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, but they won't know who the drunk master is. So like they could have a conversation together or
Right.
something like that. But the droid is also not, and I
Yeah.
think maybe the droid gives it away or something like that. It's like, where did you get this droid?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, I got it, yada yada, and that kind of like notices some very particular things about it or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, oh,
Yeah.
damn, I'm just loving this. This
Yeah.
is great. Um, okay, yeah, okay. So eventually meets the lover,
Mm-hmm.
or like this person in high society, and is able to finally have that like a conversation, and they're very unwilling to have it with them, but eventually like kind of gets in their ear and is like, you know what, you might hate me, that's fine, keep hating me. That
Mm-hmm.
does that, what I what we need to do, there's something much bigger than me, than you, and then doesn't believe him at first, but then it has like some evidence or proof that shows like, those things that are happening in this, like I know who's doing it or something, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we need to have, I think then the big like kind of battle scene, or some sort of action scene is here on this planet, at this party or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, it's kind of like something big is happening. Um,
Yeah. I mean, the rival's gonna have to notice and
yes.
either call for backup, or like, or there's multiple the New Hope people at the party,
Yeah.
and then the rival tells them, and they're calling for backup, while the rival's like, no, I'm gonna get her, I'm gonna take her out, because it's personal, or whatever, whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're also now kind of like seeing the length that the New Hope are willing to go,
Yeah.
and like how much power they really have. Like now it's becoming obvious they have like soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
like they've been hunted by some people, and maybe they seem like mercenaries, but now it's like clear, like they have like actual forces that they've been waiting to activate. And now is like, this is the one thing they really need to stop. This person that knows this information that cannot get out must be stopped by any means necessary. So the plan is being sped up. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Here. I'm trying to think of like how you make the lover rich person like really get on their side.
Yeah.
And part of me is like there's like the speeding up that's happening is now affecting her personally. Like suddenly, like during the part, like they are like, he's like, well then your planet's next or something, or like, and then the sun starts to go out, like something that like is making it really clear, like there's a 1-to-1
Uh-huh.
here, that she feels like this need to actually go with these people and like drop everything in her life to try to stop these bad people. um
I don't
do
know
you have
how
any
much of
thought?
this will come through on the audio, but there is like a big band performing right across the street. So
Nice. Nothing. No,
great.
I don't hear a thing. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. But what are your thoughts on how to tie that character kind of into the groups for the third movie?
Well, that character will definitely, I think, already have a little bit like I think you're right kind of
Yeah.
deal, because if they were married, or a
Mm,
lover with the force using drunkard, and
yeah.
presumably this person would know that he could use the force, and so like
Oh,
kind of
oh,
knows
absolutely. That's a very
some of
good
that
point.
stuff
Yeah. Yeah.
already.
Yeah. Even like him coming to her, knowing like how dangerous it is
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
um yeah, I don't know exactly how we get, because they need what do they need from this person? They need
True.
information, they need maybe some resources, they need a bigger ship. I don't know what they
That's such
need
a good.
exactly, but I know
Yeah.
they need something, but I don't know what they need exactly.
So the third movie, because it's basically what they need for the third movie,
Yeah.
which changes the now it's kind of like turned, like it's a little bit more towards the heroes at the start of the third movie. Like they finally have a chance. So they need something that gives them the confidence like they can go and finish off the New Hope, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the idea. So is it a ship? Like it's almost like they're not like looking to be like commanders of an army, but it's like it's like have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically like Helm's Deep, but the Knights of Rohan show up, or is it is it the Knights of Rohan that show up? Yeah, it is, right? Oh, fucking shit.
I haven't seen those a lot, so I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not.
But anyways, Gandalf.
References.
Yeah. No, I think it's Minas Tirith. It's like the people of Minas Tirith. Anyways, doesn't matter. The allies come with a big army. Kind of in like the final act of Two Towers, that movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we need help. We know we're going to need help. We can't possibly, like, if shit hits the fan, we're stuck out here. And so it's kind of up to you to kind of like start rallying some of the forces. And now you're kind of getting like a Mon Mothma kind of character from Andor, where she's kind of doing that a little bit. So there's that angle, but what do they need is like a ship that's undetectable, like top of the line. They need like upgrades because they can't. They are just like they clearly can be like, look at us,
right?
Like this is bad.
Yeah,
and maybe even like they escape from, because maybe like the planet's all kind of going to shit, and they escape and they have to take this rich person in their shitty ship, and so it becomes even more clear like, oh, this is, you guys can't possibly handle this. And like that's kind of what we've been trying to tell you, like we need something, and they're like, you know what, fine, sort of thing. And there could be still, because I think even like there's definitely some hesitation on her end to like be close with our drunkard. Like that will, that will be like his, like by the end of the third one, maybe there's some reconciliation or deeper closeness that kind of comes. Okay. So, but I think probably just like getting like the upgrades, I guess, but also maybe time to hide. Like they need time. Like I need training. We need a safe place for just like a few weeks. And so maybe that's what it is too, is like, I know a place that's undetectable, that's all of these things, and I can take you there.
Yeah.
And then we can load you up with equipment and all of those things. And then that will give, on the third movie, our main character and the drunkard, like now they're finally feeling good about themselves. Like the drunkard's like hasn't been drinking in a while, but I imagine in the third movie will start, like it will kind of come back in a little bit as they're kind of like fighting that demon one more time. But I think time is what they need more than anything.
Time. I like they need time, and they need just a place that they can hide. I think that stuff works. And then also the promise of, hey, while we're doing that, I need you to recruit a bunch of people to help us.
Exactly.
So just to clarify real quick, on our team that we've built here, we have our main character, obviously.
Yes.
We have the droid.
Yes.
We have the drunken master.
Yes.
We have a pilot.
Yes.
And we know that we at least need an alien. And maybe we combine that with smuggler. Maybe it's, who knows if there's another thing we can combine it with. Because our scavenger also kind of is like a mechanic, kind of, so we don't need one of those.
We've kind of like, what are some of the other tropes? Like there's a soldier, there's someone who's really good at fighting. So like a big buff thing. That could be the alien as well, as like, they need a brute of some kind, a fighter. Maybe that they're fighting in the bar or something like that. And something.
I like a brute alien.
Yeah,
I
brute
think is what we're
alien.
missing. Yeah,
Yeah. Because then you can kind of get in the Groot like
yeah, a
angle of the
Groot
Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit.
Chewbacca
Yeah,
style like
Groot.
mashup
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah. I think that would be good because you kind of need something. Um, yeah. Okay, so some sort of fighter, soldier, something tough.
yeah,
Um, and then our pilot, our drunken master, our droid, and our lead. I think
yeah.
is like the
That's the five, and then the
yeah
this politician person or
will
whoever
become the
is the
sixth at the
sixth.
end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
cool. Damn, nice.
Maybe even the brute alien. At the beginning of this second movie when our hero's on the run, I think
Mm-hmm.
the rival is probably someone they encounter early on in that when like a bunch of bounty hunters or whoever kind of descend on the main character. We have a big action sequence that way.
Yes.
The rival's
Yeah.
one of them. The rival gets, you know, defeated obviously, and then
Yeah.
feels.
Do you want the rival to show up that early in the second one?
I
Do you think
think
that
I think
it's needed?
so, and then not again until the party.
Okay. Yeah. And
Um,
then yeah, maybe has even more of a grudge now,
yeah,
or something like that. Yeah.
unless you put that extra defeat at the end of the first movie, but I think that's too quick for them to be fighting at the end of the
I think,
first movie.
yeah,
So
I don't think, I think something, they're tied up. The rival or
yeah,
something is tied up. Maybe witnesses that final moment where she
yeah,
uses the force and then starts to think like, oh, I need to get stronger.
yeah,
Um, and it could be a really quick, in the first battle when we see our rival, like a really quick, uh, like show of like, oh, like she can't use the force anymore, but now maybe he can.
right,
Like all of a sudden he's already a step above in
yeah,
some fashion, or maybe or I'm saying he, but maybe the rival also maybe never gets the force. Maybe that's not even something they can even use,
yeah.
and they have to use like other means to even like level the playing field, technology or something like that. Um,
I
which
like
could be
the
nice.
rival not being able to use the force because I think that
Cool.
also makes them even more bitter towards the main character.
Yes. You're not chosen, sort
Yeah.
of thing. And yeah.
But maybe that brute alien is also in that beginning action sequence, and at some point
So
is like,
here,
oh, you know what? Maybe I'm going to join this other
yeah,
person.
I like the brute. I like that maybe the brute gets conned by the drunken master, and
Oh
is
yeah,
like
that's fun.
he's playing like cups or something with him, and the brute's like, what? Like it's never where he thinks it is, and then he
Yeah,
finds out like he stole money, and so like part of the brute ending up on their ship is like, you owe me,
yeah,
sort of thing, and there's like they can kind of have a little relationship of
yeah. I like that.
of
That's
that.
fun.
Yeah, that way we kind of like get something interesting, a tinge of something with those two.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Okay. Yeah. I like this team. Um. I think that our big question is what are we doing with our big Jabba but not Jabba villain?
True. How do we get them? We see them at the beginning,
Yes.
clearly. Like we kind of open up with all of this, and then that's when we see. Ooh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I think the rival should be on that planet. Like the
Okay.
rival should be at the beginning, maybe getting an order or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Being
and then
questioned
like
maybe or
yeah, something. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Saw it. Saw
yeah.
what happened, and then yeah, is being questioned, and is like that's really what ups the thing. Is like she can use the force.
Yeah.
What? Like sort of thing. It's like that ups the stakes even more. Makes them even angrier to know like they're saying how powerful this person can become, and that like really steams them up. And we could even have like a montage sequence of them like showing off their kind of strengths or something like that, or getting stronger before like heading off. We go back to them, and then they meet up in that action scene at the cantina somewhere.
Yeah. Could also be something in that montage where our big Jabba creature, because I don't, again, I don't think that it's a hut but
No, I don't.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I love it, but I feel like that's too one
yeah,
to one.
I
Yeah.
agreed. This wouldn't make sense given this creature's inability to speak, but in my mind, it's closer to like the Rancor of like being just this big, like
Mm. Yeah.
imposing weird creature. But maybe our Jabba character or whatever is, now that the rival's been training, is like, okay, fight me now,
Yeah.
and then just gets
Mm.
the rival just gets wrecked, and it's like you
Yeah. Are
need
you talking about
more
at the? Is that at the
at
beginning
the
or at the
beginning.
end?
Yeah, at the
Oh
beginning
yeah,
of
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, if
yeah.
you've been
Show
training,
me.
yeah, show me, and
Yeah.
then we that's how we see that the this alien creature is like very strong, and our main character should definitely be
Yeah. Yeah. We need
worried.
some. Yeah. Some show of just like how dangerous this villain is,
Yeah.
and then I think at the end we need like our rival to come groveling back
Mm-hmm.
after failing their mission, and they've now escaped again, groveling back to our big bad alien guy,
Yeah.
and the alien guy won't have it. And maybe we kind of end the second movie with it seems like he kills the rival, even
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
or casts him aside, like does something awful or puts him in like a prison or something like that to never be heard from again, so that maybe in the third movie, like that's kind of the redemption a little bit, is like
Okay. Yeah.
maybe when like they end up on the, like we think he dies or something like that, or
Mm-hmm.
like something like some punishment that's so severe, and then when in the third movie when they go to like the big bad's place, they find him actually alive still, but in like a prison cell or something like that.
Yeah.
um could be could be an option. And then there's now like this, like, oh, I, you saved me, I owe you my life style thing. But that would mean like their big conflict battle
Mm-hmm.
is at the end of the second movie, in that kind of in the ball, or whatever,
Yeah.
um, at the rich place.
The other thing that you could do if you don't want it to be like, you can still have the big battle at the end of the second movie,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have um our big villain, I again, this is too one to one with Jabba, but he
Sure.
comes groveling back, and then the this Jabba character won't accept it, and then
Yeah.
trapdoor releases, the rival falls down, you don't know
Yeah.
what happens.
Something like that.
But then in the third movie, the in this prison or this dungeon or wherever they got sent, like, no, please, like, put me back in, coach. Like, I think
Mm.
that I think I can get the main character to trust me. So, like, put me back in the fight.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that's how the third one opens. Is
yeah,
like we end on a cliffhanger on the second one, like he dies, and it's
yeah.
it's very much like when Luke or whatever falls down
Mm-hmm.
the big thing or whatever, and it's like ends up getting rescued. It's something like that where it falls down into something, but we're kind of left to think that they died. But the second one opens with them ready to get back in, and they've gone through, because now we've done a little bit of a time jump,
Yeah,
because they needed our main characters needed time to train and everything like that, and so now he's needed time, our rival, to be, this, to be groveling, to be ready to go back in, and the big bad is ready, is
yeah,
ready to send them back in with all of the tools, like then no no missed opportunities here. They are going to go scorched earth nuclear now on this. And so, yeah, I think that's great.
okay,
I really like that. Um, yeah, that's good. Because then, yeah, you get them, because clearly saw some, yeah, because we kind of need our main character to have, like, at the end of the second movie, have this, like, feel really bad for the rival,
yeah,
so that when they do come back, there's like, it doesn't feel like it comes out of nowhere and they have to like convince them, that sort of thing. Um, yeah. Okay.
So that means in the third movie, because I feel like now we've pretty much got the second movie
I think
more
so.
or
I
less
think
figured out, the
yeah,
parts
we
that we
know.
need to.
Yep, we know kind of how all the characters intertwine, where we need to go, how it drops out into there. We got some great action scenes.
Yeah.
Um, okay,
And so we have the opening for this third one.
the finale.
And we know that by the end of the third one,
Yeah,
the galaxy needs to be more or less restored in the energy of the force.
yeah,
We have to kill our big Jabba and our tiny Salacious Crumb and Illuminati's of Salacious Crumb
yes,
types.
yes. Okay, so we need our Rancor Jabba bad guy
Yeah.
to get killed early.
Yes.
Or on the earlier side. Like I'm thinking in Revenge of the Sith, they kill Dooku, Count Dooku, who you think at the end of the second one is like gonna be the biggest, baddest villain, and kind of definitely is in between the movies. Like there's a lot of the Clone Wars happen, but they kill him off first thing, and now we kind of are in a totally different movie. I think pretty early on in the movie we need to kill our big bad, and then there's like this. But that doesn't solve it immediately,
right?
Like it's maybe they finish them off, or because now we need to figure out how we actually bring the universe back. Like now we're asking like what they're doing, and now I understand why J.J. Abrams had such a hard time. You can set up all these awesome things. We definitely need to open up with the stakes.
Yeah.
Like the galaxy's on the line. Like, and not only is the galaxy on the line, it's getting worse because they keep turning the dial up. And that I think is also poisoning the bad guys too. Like there's something about like taking in too much force that has made their planet like getting stranger, and they're trying to do something about it. And like the villains are kind of going mad almost.
Yeah.
Because of all this power, but they don't really have a choice. We have to move. We got to move. So yeah. So we got to open up big with like what is happening, some like obvious event that kind of makes it clear that the stakes are up one more time. And then the rival, the bad guy, the rival needs to, so now we got to get to the group and what they're doing. Obviously they kind of come out of the compound or whatever, raring to go. Like they're feeling good. There is some promise by the politician, like, hey, I think I've got some things working. It's going to take a little convincing, but I've kind of got this handled. You need to go off and do your thing, and we can have a moment between her and the drunk guy of like, this might be the last time we see each other. He can like be like, hey, I don't need you to forgive me, but I want you to know I fucked up and all of these things, and can kind of leave on that note. Like she's not ready to forgive, but he's kind of come to terms. Like he hasn't been drinking in a while. Like he's finally like clear headed where he's like, I'm going to say I'm sorry. And I don't need you to accept it. I just need to say it. He's kind of 12-stepsing his life now. And then they kind of go off so that when she comes back, it can really be like this beautiful, that moment between the two of them. So they come out of the compound and then they take the ship like straight to where the bad guys are, I guess, to this planet. Yeah. We definitely need like one more planet. Cause like, I feel like you need at least like 3 locations, 3 big like planetary locations in all these movies.
Sure.
So we kind of need something like the bad guy either to be on a new, well, here it is. Like where the Jabba character is not where the Illuminati is. Right.
Yeah.
The Illuminati can be somewhere else.
Yeah.
So they can go to this like lush planet full of life, but that ends up not being where it is. And then the end is the Star War. Like it's at this big star, and all of this energy has been funneled into this giant, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're like on like some sort of maybe ship around it or something like that. Like this Illuminati, like you wouldn't even be able to, I don't know, something interesting, but I think that's when the star comes. You could have some really cool stuff like on the surface of the of the sun, like it can be insane.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how we show the energy being taken from the stars like it without it looking corny is kind of my
Yeah.
concern.
Like there's like it definitely isn't like a a hand coming and like sucking it
Right.
out or anything like that. I think it's like a general like if you like it if the imagery in some ways, and I'm still down to change all this and everything, but
Yeah.
it's like like how you see solar flares and things like that. It's kind of like this like energy kind of like feeding off, and eventually it's like going through the galaxy and like drifting through, and we can like follow it or something like that. And
Okay.
it's kind of like landing here, and it's not so like the stars aren't dying fast. They're dying somewhat slow, but faster now.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, I don't know. Is your like first concern like the visual of it, or like the idea of it is still kind of like cheesy corny?
No, I like the idea of it. I think it
Okay.
is the visual and how to show it, and I don't know that
Yeah.
we'll necessarily come to that
Yeah.
exactly because we're just writing it, baby.
And we are almost at 2 hours.
I know, and we haven't
So
cast anyone.
we haven't cast anyone, so we'll be quick about it.
Yeah.
Um, but okay. Well, we'll land on it and we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the concept of it I'm still good with. So, at least
Okay.
that we're
Okay.
good with.
So, do you like the kind of final battle being at this like super sun or something?
Yeah, because I don't think that this Illuminati group can do much combat. So I
I don't
think
think
that
so either. I think they need another. Like it's really hard to get to them or something like that. Like
yeah,
maybe even like these creatures like come from like suns, like they live on the surfaces of suns, or so they can like withstand
oh
heat or
yeah, I like
something.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
something
like
that it's like
these like gross, scaly like
yeah.
cockroach
Y-
creatures, basically.
Ooh, I like cockroach. That's cool. Yeah, something like that is great. Yeah, like scaly gremlins.
Yeah,
But that's where they kind of are, and but like what kind of power do they have now? Like, is there a button on their ship that like stops everything? Like what? That's what we really need to ask ourselves is like, because it is the force, like they're
right.
funneling the force, and so sure there could be a mechanism that's like sucking it from. So lightsabers, for example, have kyber crystals,
Right.
and I even think like Starkiller Base and even Death Star have like some sort of kyber crystal thing that does like the energy. There could be something where it's like within this sun is a giant kyber something, and it's just like, if you just like activate it or whatever, you like do something to it, you make it feel like it's in danger or something like that, add some sort of force to it, it uh immediately starts like absorbing energy and like doing something with it. That could be like a Star Warsy sciencey explanation for what they're doing. And basically they have to stop like this like, but it all kind of comes back to like they have a machine that's doing something, which I
Yeah.
don't know if we want that. Well, here, so if we're saying the force and suns and stars are like meaningful in some way to the force, then these creatures from suns and stars are very powerful in it, I would imagine, or at least have
Yeah.
some like deep connection with it. And so like the Illuminati does, kind of hang around, chant, hold hands, and there might be some power to like, or maybe they've got some elders that they've had in like stasis forever that are just like they need to like stop the ritual, I guess, that is happening like on this
Mm-hmm.
thing on or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is like a ritual.
It feels like if it's the force, it kind of has to be,
Yeah.
right? It kind of has to be something a little kooky
Yeah.
versus like just a machine.
Yeah, like some sort of ritual, some sort of witchcraft
Yeah.
summoning of the force, like,
Yeah.
and siphoning it to go somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um. So we kill our Jabba Rancor early.
Yeah.
Um. The Jabba Rancor let the rival get back in to prove himself again.
Yes.
Um.
So there will be a betrayal by the rival, like during that fight with the Jabba adjacent character, right? Is that kind of what has to happen?
I think so. Um. Yeah. Maybe it's like. Yeah, I don't know why the rival necessarily switches to get redeemed. It could be that,
Well,
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the rival so the rival is now at the point of like force and violence is the only answer, right? And they will kill anyone to stop this or whatever. And it is the hero that shows empathy, forgiveness when the rival is there ready to be killed, is like begging for it at this point, has like lost and can't withstand the shame. They're kind of there to be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And it like just shows that another way is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like maybe there's another like event that it seems like he dies or something like that. And like the whole like city collapses and or whatever that these people are at, but then maybe comes back at the end or has some or maybe journeys with them from there on out maybe. And like our hero like has like really doesn't want to let them die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's how you give them that kind of like redemption thing, is like showing them like they can do it differently, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too. Even if there's like a brief little moment too where like, yeah, the rival is like, just kill me. Like it's over. I've lost 4 times already in this trilogy.
Exactly. Like it fucking sucks.
just kill me, end it.
Yeah.
And the hero's like, no, it's still not too late for you, whatever. And then maybe the rival, like, I guess if maybe they also have a like janky lightsaber or something, and they try to like, I don't know, throw their lightsaber at a nearby tree to chop it, and then have the tree fall on them and crush them to death. And then the hero can stop the tree from falling on them too, to like also have the action of like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna let you.
Yeah, exactly.
Die.
Like yeah. I think that I think another way to do it is like, let's say even like the world is collapsing, like the city's collapsing, and they're just like, they're not running.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of a sudden the hero's like, come on, we gotta go. Everything is falling apart around us. And they're like, no, I'm not, or runs deeper in to like the collapsing building to like die.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the hero can like, the brute is like literally holding them running out of the place, or something like that. And is like, yeah, yeah,
it could be that they either stop running or they run back. And then our main character is just like force pulls them back to
that could be that, or that like stops rocks from falling on them, like the tree thing too, and yeah, and it's like doing everything they can. It's like just enough time to like send the brute in to go grab him, and then they grab him. Do we like the idea of the rival kind of like journeying with the group? I'm kind of iffy.
I think no. I think that they either have to let him go or they have to drop him off at some sort of like prison or like something like that. Because even if the main character is like, I don't want you to die, I think everybody else on the main character's like, crew is like, fuck? Get this guy off our ship. Yeah, exactly. I don't trust this guy at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't like him like traveling, because then yeah, you get all these new weird dynamics that I think are, because he kind of needs to, the rival does a lot of his character growth off screen,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of like how this character works. And so there will be like this will be the first time we see like this real like revelation towards the other side, but still like immediately his eyes like gloss over again and he like falls back into it and he tries to kill himself or whatever.
Yeah.
But they stop him, they like bring him out, they drop him off somewhere on their way out.
They could,
and maybe to come back for him too.
Yeah.
But to be like, we not now. Like we can't handle this right now.
Yeah, unless they have like somewhere they can put him on the ship that is like a temporary like, you know, brig or
some
whatever,
sort of holding cell. Yeah.
And then they and the audience kind of forget that he's in there until maybe there's something that he's good at that they're like, oh my god, we're gonna have to get this guy to do this specific thing that was set up in the first movie, that he has this specific skill and now we need it here.
Well, a skill that he has.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he was in cahoots with the big bad. Right. And so has knowledge, information that can be useful to this final fight.
Yeah.
That's something that at least he has that's useful.
Yeah. They could. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's.
Yeah.
No, this would be way too lame and easy. But I was like, maybe he's just a really good shot, and they put him on the gun, and that's how.
Yeah,
he's the one who shoots the like very specific, small, precise shot.
The one thing that I kind of like is like they are going to reach a point where they need his help.
Yeah.
Right. It could be that too, is like maybe that wasn't the intent. Maybe it was just information, but all of a sudden it's like, hey, I'm going to let you out right now because things are really bad.
Yeah.
Can you do this for us? But at this point, there has to be kind of like no real inclination that they're going to turn bad. Besides, like all of the group is thinking like that has to prove themselves. But at this point, they've like certainly this character has revealed has learned everything they need to be good again.
Yeah,
and this would be an instance of them like showing like you can trust me now. You know, I had every opportunity to kill all of you or whatever, and I didn't. Oh, I think that's like maybe they get boarded or something like that, and they like. You know, gets his hand on a gun or something like that and could have killed our main character or someone and instead shoots the bad guy or something like that.
I'm into that. Yeah, the ship gets boarded. Whoever it is, you know, is like, hey, we found this guy in like this closet down here. And then that's how
I didn't even think about. They let him.
Yeah,
out.
They let him out, and then
and
then he, you know, turns on the
rescues
people.
them, saves them. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and what I like, what I kind of also like about this, well, it depends who we want these people to board the ship to be, but it has a really good sense of like if it's kind of like a small like we obviously want to keep raising the stakes, but it needs to still not be like. They're fighting the worst villains of all time. I guess it can go either way. I don't want it to be like a group of smugglers board the ship. But there is something fun about like, or interesting about like, oh my God, this is what does us in. Like,
I think that, and we'll try to dance around some of this politically, but
sure.
I think that, you know, if, I like the idea of it being like a civilian militia kind of thing of like we just love the Jabba Rancor so much. Yeah. He's our guy. We love him and you know, we tracked you down or whatever. And like they're just like they're just bad like
yeah,
you would not want this to be the way your characters go out, but
I like
that's
that
how
too.
It
like,
is.
Yeah, I almost think like the Pirates of the Caribbean, like those two like pirates that kind of like show up all over the place, like with the eyeball that falls. Like there's like this group that has almost like been maligned since the
Yeah.
first movie or something, and comes back too, of like, we've been tracking you for a really long time and we're
Yeah.
just looking to get the bounty or something. We're like, we want to be in good graces with the boss. And then they, maybe this is when they find out the boss is dead too, and they're like,
Yeah.
huh, like what, like, and but they still, like, maybe they don't believe it or something like that.
Yeah.
And can still have like a moment. But
And that's
I
part of
like,
why they let the rival out, is because, he still has on his uniform or
yeah,
whatever. Oh,
that he's
he's one of us. Yeah, he's
yes,
got
yes,
one of the
I like
things
this.
on there. Yeah, and that there, because the thing that we're kind of, I like them being like in for the bounty of it also, but there is like all this all these religious overtones that we've kind of put into this trilogy.
Yeah,
Like, we've talked a lot about the members of the quote unquote church, but not the
yeah,
like worshippers of it. And
yeah,
I think that's kind
yeah,
of what this is like
yeah.
a light into
We
that.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's exactly what this part needs, is like just a totally different angle that they weren't even thinking about.
Yeah.
Like, they've been so focused on the big thing, and even like they've got soldiers and everything like that, but now we're dealing, now there's this whole other side
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think make, like, it doesn't change their trajectory or anyway, but it's an interesting aside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um
And
because
kind
now
of
they're not going to be
a,
like, oh, we have to go after all of the worshipers or anything like that.
yeah, and sort of like continues the vague idea of Star Wars, in a sense of like, yeah, the Empire was defeated, but because we killed all those main guys. But there
Yeah.
are still people who, are unrelated with the organization that then built back up the First Order. And now the First Order has disappeared, and hundreds of years have passed. And
Yeah.
we thought we had defeated it, but no, there were some other people that have come together to put together the New Hope. And like,
Yeah.
that it's still, if you read into it, that there are, this will still continue basically.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes. More movies. That's
exactly.
perfect. Yes.
Exactly.
No problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I, s- I think we end up getting to our final battle. I mean, I think that kind of, we now have kind of like set our things. We've got our big battle at the
Yeah.
beginning, which is great on the third movie to start with something big. And then that can be where they come out of hiding, they go to the lush planet, kill the big bad
Uh-huh.
character that we thought. The little groveling gremlin escapes,
Yeah.
and they leave with the rival. Then we have this other new action scene with the rival and all of these like pirate
Yeah,
like
pirate.
bounty hunter
Yeah.
guys. Yeah. um and then, do we need one more thing before we go to the sun
I
or go
think
to the star?
we might need one
I think we
more
need one more.
thing.
But this might also be, it might be something where this isn't something we figure out right now. It might be where we tie up some of the loose ends of some of the other characters,
Yeah.
too, that we haven't really thought about.
Yeah.
That leaves some room to like go do something that kind of like closes the loop on the rest of them,
Mm-hmm.
is possible.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of little like character things, and I don't know that there's like a ton of like, I don't know that there's another big action sequence. But there's more scenes, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Before we get to like the big, because we also need, we do need the star to be a big action sequence,
Yes.
too. Like, there's gonna have to be some fight. Like, there's gonna have to be ships like flying through like these solar like flares that are happening on these stars and stuff. So there's gonna be some cool combat. So I think that the Illuminati gremlins, they have an army, like they have defenses, right?
Yeah, they probably have. Okay, I think that the Illuminati gremlins have like
Nice.
a swarm of ships, like that
Yeah.
are just like extra tiny for just the like
Ooh,
just them
yeah,
and like guns basically,
yeah, yeah.
and they can all swarm around and split up and kind of
Ooh,
overpower, like an
yeah.
infestation kind of like
I like
move.
they can also like birds like flying
Yeah,
and like that sort of thing is
yeah,
like they're stronger as a unit than anything, and so they can like create shapes and maybe
yeah.
even a face,
Mm-hmm.
like an almost like Wizard of Oz style face that can communicate with the heroes and their ship as they're like coming or something like that.
Yeah.
um Ooh, I like that. Okay. And so
Maybe
yeah, you
okay.
get
Maybe,
yeah,
we said, oh, there's not like a hand that like,
yeah, but
comes over. Maybe they
yeah,
form a hand that kind of
yeah.
comes over the planets and it absorbs like maybe the heat of the force absorbs
The heat of the
into
force.
their like ship, like
Mm.
in like the framework of their ships, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
able
yeah,
to,
yeah,
it absorbs into that metal,
yeah.
and then when they go to the star for their planet, they can
Oh,
then
they kind of
release it
drop it
into,
off.
yeah,
Mm.
like bees pollinating their
You.
sun.
Ooh, that's good.
Okay. Now, yeah,
Yeah.
that's something. I can at least wrap my brain around what that can look
Yeah,
like.
yeah, bees. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because I'm also think we have to we, we may have to like retcon a couple things
Sure.
to work with like now I imagine these have can be seen, right? Like it's
Yeah.
clear like if a planet is dying, like that's happening. It could be that instead we don't see them go over planets, but they fly into the suns and the stars or
Mm.
whatever, and they're like no one is on these suns and stars besides these creatures, and like on this they live on this one sun.
Hmm.
And so maybe they do take energy from the stars, but no one really sees them
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
um
Or it could be like, we've, as these suns have been dying, they've only been sending like a couple, and as they've been needing to ramp it up, they've been
yeah,
sending like more at a time.
and there's sightings or something now
Yeah.
or something. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big fight on the star
Hmm.
with all of these like ships that can kind of like form into bigger things and make for some cool sweet combat. And so while all of that is happening, I imagine our main character and maybe the rival are go on to like the space station that the Illuminati's on
Hmm.
or something that we can like actually like face them like face to face.
Yeah.
Um, get our kind of big bad monologue sort of thing, and then have some sort of like they are clearly so powerful in the force that it's like they maybe it's there's like so powerful they can like change what you even see or something like that too. Like there's
Hmm.
some ways to kind of mess with it to be like just to show like they're really crazy.
I
They
think
also the
we send the droid too, so that the droid, the main character, and the rival, after having spent the first movie going on missions together, now are
oh
ending the
yes,
trilogy on this mission together.
yes,
While the our pilot and the brute alien and this army that the politician has been able to wrangle, now they're out
exactly,
doing the firefight around the star,
yeah.
while the main character, the droid, and the rival are inside the little
That's
base
good.
there.
And we can kill the droid to get some sympathy too.
That's
You can
true.
like
Yeah.
you can kill it to make the audience get real sad.
Hmm.
So we get some tears. Obviously the bad guys need or the good guys need to be losing.
Yeah.
And then and then we get our heroic entrance of the other ships. So there's like that what's like the losing outside can also happen inside too. There's like a losing happening like within them. Ooh. And then like maybe as they're like losing inside, that's when like the drunk master shows up, maybe like sacrifices him. Like he's now ready to show his true strength. There's that idea.
I think the rival can also sacrifice themselves.
Sure. Yes.
That's
Then
maybe a
everyone's
little more.
sacrificing
Yeah,
themselves. Yeah.
it's true.
So
Yeah. I mean,
the
Yeah.
the question is, how do we overcome the bad guys? That's the
Yeah.
like kind of at their own game in a way, or like subvert them somehow. Like the power of friendship is more powerful than the power of evil. Um, yeah, what is that's the question. It's like
Yeah.
what can be done, because they could destroy the resources on the outside, but I still feel like if that isn't satisfying necessarily. But I imagine that the Gremlin Illuminati, they are getting their power from the star. So if they're able
Mm-hmm.
to do something with the star, that will drain their power. So maybe as they're winning now, it has made them weak enough that we could have a combat of some kind.
Yeah.
And that's then we at least have a satisfying hand to hand something or what have you.
I think at the beginning of this movie, we see the ending of the training with the drunken master,
Yeah.
and our main character is like feeling pretty good, but there is like one thing that they're like, I wish I was a little bit better at that, but we don't have time anymore or whatever. Like we have to go. And what are the chances that that thing is going to come up? And
that's
it
so
comes
true.
up in this final battle, whatever that may be.
That special little thing is. It's a great storytelling tool.
It is.
That we just don't have
the specific for it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. We're already, I mean, we're over 2 hours.
Yeah.
We have created a new Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, cut us some slack, you guys.
Yeah. I don't know if it's something with a lightsaber, because we haven't really done much with lightsabers.
I
in this
know.
trilogy.
We haven't really, it's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like we definitely in the first one, we teased some sort of lightsaber, something at the end. And I think that maybe the rival gets something.
Them, but like
yeah. There's something, but no, maybe our hero's been building it or something like that, or maybe wasn't able to finish it.
Yeah.
Or like, or couldn't figure it out. And like the thing is, like, if you can't, maybe also, because I think also like a lesson with like lightsabers, like with the Jedi is that they have to build it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big part of the lightsaber. And maybe she couldn't figure out exactly how to finish it. And it
wasn't ever like igniting or whatever.
It was never working, because there was like something, and I don't know if it was mechanical or what have you. But the drunken master maybe knew what it was, but didn't share it, because I mean, if they they kind of need to figure it out on their own. That's a big part of it. And so it's like, well, I guess I won't have it. And then maybe at the end, the lightsaber is the thing that maybe the drunken master is like, you know what? Fuck the rules. You know what? Like,
yeah,
this is what you need. Like, I like kind of storms in and is like, this is what you need. I got your back, sort of thing.
Yeah. And maybe it's just like, I mean, this would be convoluted maybe for it to just be like, maybe they just needed more of the power that's being harnessed by this Illuminati. Maybe as we're in that hand-to-hand combat, maybe all these little Illuminati members have like, they've taken out the droid, the rival is incapacitated enough, now it's just our main character versus all these little gremlins.
Yes.
They pile on her, right? They're clawing away, they're biting, whatever. And so it's just a big pile of these little gremlins. And then from within the pile, that lightsaber ignites and just sweeps them off of there.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, and then, the rest of them, she can swat away at them with the lightsaber, but...
Yeah, then we'll need something that's, because it definitely, yeah. Because I'm like, is it going to be satisfying for the audience to just see like the good guy fighting a bunch of tiny guys?
Yeah,
but it might be that they're just I mean, they're really powerful. Maybe they even
I think they're powerful, and I think they're some sort of fast.
Yeah, and they can. I mean, once again, they can control things with their mind. So they might even have like there might even be some that have literal like sets of armor where there's like a tiny head on top of like this like body made of like different parts, and they can we can get some sort of like brute fight as well.
Yeah.
So that's not just all like tiny guys piling on, because that's obviously the obvious thing that they could do. Okay, yeah, I think there's a lot of options there. And so the rival maybe sacrifices themselves.
Yeah.
And the drunken master and the politician, there is a rekindling that happens. And then there's just the sun begins to die. Like this sun has been taking everything, so now it's becoming a black hole and they have to escape fast.
Yeah.
Like that can be kind of at the end is like, we got to get the hell out of here right now. And so they escape out of the black hole. It sucks up like all of the evidence that was bad or whatever, and it's all gone. And now it like blows up or something, and it disperses through the universe, and like suns begin, like we can show all these shots of like people on their planets, like the sun gets brighter and stuff like that, and all of a sudden like life is starting to come back.
I like that.
And then we have a beautiful ending.
Boom. I like it.
Yeah.
We do have to cast, and we do have to name these 3 movies.
Right on. Yeah, let's cast this sucker and name the movies. So casting first, probably.
Yeah, let's do casting first.
Okay. All right. So I'm open to a lot of things. It sounded like you had an idea for our lead.
I picture Ariana Greenblatt.
Ooh, okay. Let me see.
She played America Ferrera's daughter in Barbie. She's in the new Now You See Me movie. She was in.
Oh yeah. I like her a lot. Yeah, what do I know her from?
65, maybe, with Adam Driver.
She's in that?
Yeah, she's the only other person in that movie.
She plays the young.
Yeah.
She's already in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
she plays the young Ahsoka.
See, this is what I mean,
series.
Is like, I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't necessarily think that's bad, because she's in full makeup and everything like that.
Sure, okay.
So it's not the craziest thing.
I'm trying to think of other people that fit the vibe. If we don't, we'll have to type in these names and then put Star Wars at the end and be like,
exactly.
Goodness.
Teen Vogue has this 122 young celebrities.
All right, let's go through them one by one.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to name them, and you're going to know who each one of them are for sure.
Sure, I will.
Yeah. Some of these people I have no idea, but I believe that they got the look. A lot of great looking folks.
Sure.
Cooper Hoffman, that's interesting. Wonder what he could play as. He could maybe be the rival.
He could maybe be the rival. I also was thinking of The Long Walk co-star David Johnson as the rival.
Is he the guy that was in Romulus?
Yes.
Oh, nice. He's good.
Yeah, he's. I've only seen him, I think, in those 2 things, but he was pretty good in both of them.
I think he's in some British TV, and that's probably where he comes from. Yeah. Okay. Who is that? What's his name again? Sorry.
David Johnson, but I believe Johnson is not spelled the way you might think.
All right. I'm taking out the H.
JonSson.
Okay. Johnson. Okay. I kind of like Cooper Hoffman as something, but maybe I don't know. And then who? Well, here let's go back. We'll come back to the lead.
Yeah.
Who could be the good drunken master?
I'm gonna pitch
Mantzoukas?
Kyle MacLachlan. I don't know if he's already in Star Wars somewhere, but that's
he is not.
Okay.
That is very interesting. Ooh, he's getting old.
He is getting old.
He's definitely getting old, but I think I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's.
Just to clarify, he was a voice actor who provided the voice for Draven Bosch on Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures.
Nice. Well,
I think we can.
Too bad.
Yeah, too bad. It's over.
Yeah, I think I also like watching Josh Brolin in Wake Up Dead Man.
Yeah,
made me. I kind of like, because I kind of want an actor that can go like all of a sudden be like really high energy and can like switch it at times.
The other line that we're just going to throw out the window is like, you don't see a ton of super famous people in Star Wars, but we're going to throw that out the window.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
I mean, they're making that movie with Ryan Gosling. So like I think
know.
in
now
general,
they're realizing like, okay, we need
that out the window.
Exactly. They're like, we need to have people in these things now.
I know that the guy that plays Superman, David Corenswet, I know he's very vocal about wanting to be in the Star Wars universe. Is this where it's going to be? I don't know.
Yeah, he wants to be a pilot.
He does, yeah. Does he become our pilot? Is this the pilot role he wants of a guy that has a bruised ego? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so, you know what? Fuck it. I say yes.
Yeah,
I say it's an easy get.
Yeah,
all right.
That's true.
All right, Cornsweat, you got it. You do you like Josh Brolin? You think like that?
I think so.
Okay, I don't want to be cheap because I know I just watched it last night, but I did just like, because I kind of
that look that he has in that movie.
The
for
look
sure
is great.
Very,
like it's exactly right. Yeah, and just like this. Yeah, and yeah. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. All right, Joshy. And he's only getting older, which I think is a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got our brute alien, but that can be voiced, I imagine.
Yeah, it can be voiced. It can be motion capture, and this also kind of goes for our Jabba Rancor. And maybe even our little gremlin creature.
Yeah, Bill Hader.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that. So
I think Bill Hader
let's do it.
Yeah. I do like Bill Hader as because Barry is kind of like the gremlin energy I'm looking for. A little bit of like at the end, like as kind of like, yeah. They're because they have to be able to be like, oh, I'm stupid, right. Yada yada, and then all of a sudden turn it, and be like this very serious force.
Yeah, I like that. I'm good to put Hader in there.
All right, I know it was a real stretch.
I know. It's pretty impressive that I haven't on these podcasts been constantly pitching Bill Hader and Sam Rockwell. I think I've thrown them out a couple times.
You definitely, I've been pushing Bill Hader way more than you.
I know, yeah. And for those two to be like two of my favorite guys, and I barely even shout them out here. Yeah, we got them.
Okay, so, our big Rancor guy.
Yeah.
You can go in a number of different directions. You could go Jeffrey Wright or something like that, or
Momoa.
I just watched. Oh, I kind of like him having a lot of hair too. So there's something like the big bat, like that kind of being like, and there's like some like gems on him or something. It could, you know what? Fuck it.
All right, we're blowing through this casting this time. I don't know if it's because we're at 2 hours and 40 minutes or because it's just we did so much extensive character work before.
I think you know what, I hate to tell my audiences, I think my brain is empty. No. This is on track though to be our longest episode ever. So
All right. And the one that we thought, this one might be fast.
This won't be short.
Every time we get together, we're like, I think this one's going to be the short one.
I know. I know.
It gets longer.
It's crazy.
Our other villain, the one that dies in the first movie, the televangelist.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that kind of sets up. Okay.
If I can throw you two curveballs and then you can shout me out with anything else that you got.
Okay.
I see like a Sterling K. Brown or a Jesse Plemons in this.
Great choices. Great choices.
And they're both different, so it's like, which way do you want to go?
Yeah, they are both different. I think that Jesse Plemons, I don't know if I've seen him like explode. We need this character to be willing to like explode in energy. So that's my only, but he has a perfect facade where it's just like very like, you know what? I mean, I guess I've seen Begonia, and so I can kind of see him kind of going mad.
But even that, I see what you're saying. Like he's not explosive. Like there's
you need like wild. And then what was the other guy's name again? It's
Sterling K. Brown.
Okay, that's what I thought. And I believe I know. I'm just okay. Yes. Yeah, I like him a lot. I haven't seen much of his stuff, so I can't really. I saw him in American Fiction, and he was really fun in that. So I know he's got a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
Which I think could be exactly what we need for this character, is like a lot of riz.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's that he works for that. I mean, he did play a preacher in a movie that I didn't see, but it was like him and Regina Hall as like a televangelist-esque couple.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if they were televangelists, but they were
like but something religious like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Brute alien.
Yeah, I don't know who you get for this.
Jack Black. No. I don't really care for him much anymore.
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, he's the new Jack Black.
Yeah, he kind of is. So.
He kind of is, yes. Yeah, with like a really deep, slow, kind of grumbly voice. Yeah, I like it.
All right.
Okay. We still need our lead, but we also need the droid.
We need the droid and we need the politician. And I think,
so
in my eyes, all three of these are. Yeah, I think all three of these
exactly.
are female
and these are we're really good at picking these characters out. It turns out these actors. Okay, so let's start with the politician.
Yeah.
So that's an older actor in the Josh Brolin age range.
Yeah. Brolin is currently 57 years old.
Okay, looking for actresses in their 50s. Not from the 1950s. That would be interesting.
I just clicked on this because they came up under people also search for. And she's 3 years older than Josh Brolin.
Oh, that's fine.
Diane Lane.
Okay. Yep. She popped up for me too.
I don't know that that's the right choice, but that's
a good one.
That's a place to start thinking, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Gillian Anderson.
Oh, I love Gillian Anderson. Ooh, she would be good. Is she too Mon Mothma?
That's kind of what I mean, is like she might look too similar.
Yeah, I think she might be too. She's also very similar to you saw the first season of Andor?
Yes.
She looks a lot like the kind of like the one woman dressed in white that's a part of the.
Yeah.
So it might be a little too close.
I did. So I searched Gillian Anderson Star Wars, and one of the first things that comes up is like, oh, this person from Andor has an uncanny resemblance to Gillian Anderson. I was like,
that's good.
All right, that might not work then.
Julianne Moore.
Okay.
Kind of interesting. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Okay, yeah, I can see that too. I think of the ones that we've mentioned so far, Julianne Moore and Diane Lane are still like
Okay.
The two that I'm circling around the most.
Then I say Julianne Moore.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Now we have the droid and the main character.
Okay, easy. Okay, so the droid.
We cast this person in the last episode.
Okay.
And I haven't fact checked if they're somewhere in the Star Wars universe. But,
lay it on me.
Stephanie Shu as the droid.
Oh, from Everything Everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that it's. I like Stephanie Shu a lot. Stephanie. Yeah. When I'm writing scripts, Stephanie's in that list where I'm like, yeah, let's put her in this part.
Yeah.
But I do. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean we have to pick her. If you want other names, say Jenny Slate as the droid. She's got that nasally voice that works good in a voiceover role.
Good too. I mean, we can go through the entire Everything Everywhere All at Once cast. Jenny Slate, Stephanie Sue.
Oh my god, I forgot Jenny Slate was even.
I know. I'm on the thing, and I just saw it. Said that. It was funny.
Yeah. Okay. I hadn't even put that together.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No. You know what? Let's do Stephanie.
Okay. And that leaves our main character.
Okay. We kind of want them a little undiscovered, right?
A little bit, yes.
Oh, we also haven't... Did we pick the... Oh, I guess we didn't necessarily... Or we haven't picked the rival either.
That's true. Yeah, we talked about a couple people, but I guess we never chose one.
We haven't. So it's like David Johnson or Cooper Hoffman.
Yeah,
could be interesting interesting actors. So, okay, let's get our lead. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm on the Alien Romulus part of the Teen Vogue thing because Kaylee Spaney, I do like her a lot.
Sure, and I also like Isabella Merced also in that cast.
Oh yeah, she's a Hawk Girl, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's got to be her.
Okay.
I like her a lot. I think, and I've also seen how her in the Hawk Girl role.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of range.
Yes.
A lot of directions it can go, which I think is great.
And when I looked up Isabella Merced's Star Wars, there's an image of her cosplaying as Padme Amidala. So
all right, she'll take a pay cut.
Yeah.
She loves the series. Okay.
So that reunites her if we put David Johnson in there, that reunites them, and it's got her and Corin Sweat in the same movie again as well. So
yeah, oh god.
She's taking that pay cut for sure. Not these guys, but for her, for sure.
Her. Yeah, I mean that's just only fair. Okay, so then Johnson or Hoffman for our...
Or somebody else if we think of somebody.
Or somebody else. Yeah, true. Let's give it a think.
I mean, I like Dylan O'Brien, I think is another name to throw out here.
He feels a little older.
I think I don't know how old Cooper Hoffman is, but I think that Dylan O'Brien.
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, because Dylan O'Brien's older than me.
Dylan O'Brien, 34. David Johnson, 32.
Oh, okay. So we're getting a little older
and Cooper Hoffman, 22. So.
Oh,
Cooper Hoffman's a big jump down in the age bracket there.
I wonder if that is a better... like a younger, more naive.
I do think that someone closer to Isabella Merced's age is good, and she's 24. So
okay.
I think also somebody who I've seen a lot recently that I like is Dominic Sessa. The guy from
that is so funny. I was literally on his image. If anyone could see in my glasses, that's who was up when you said that.
Wow.
He is exactly right.
Yeah. Okay. I like
in my
that.
opinion.
I like that choice.
Because he's tall, lanky.
Yeah.
He fills kind of the what Adam Driver could have been, I feel like,
Yeah.
role. I think he's sometimes it clicks. I think this clicks.
Sweet.
Yeah. Nice. Oh my God. We did it.
We did it.
But now we have to name it.
We do have to name them, yeah.
Okay. All right, so first I'll go over who we cast just so that the audience is clear. Okay. In the lead, Isabella Monier. Is that how you say her last name?
No. She changed it to Merced. She was originally.
I just copy pasted from Wikipedia. Isabella Merced in the lead. The rival, played by Dominic Sessa. The drunken master is Josh Brolin. The pilot, David Cornsweet. The brute alien, Paul Walter Hauser. Nice. The droid, Stephanie Shu. The televangelist, Sterling K. Brown. The Jabba Rancor-esque character is Momoa. Hilarious. The major gremlin is what I called it, is Bill Hader. The politician is Julianne Moore. And I think that's all the characters.
That's it.
Nice. Okay, so the first one's called The New Hope. No. Okay, let's see. This is where the real brain power comes in.
I know. Yeah, because it's like we do know they've used a lot of the words, right?
Yeah.
So like the Force Returns we can't really use, even though that's kind of what this is. The Force rises,
the vanishing of the Force. Like we could talk about like what's happening, like the draining.
We can also skip to either movie 2 or 3 and do one of those first if we have something that jumps out.
If anything comes to mind, how about we we're shotgun blasting
I
this?
like it.
Anything you got. I mean, I like the last movie almost being called like The Fate of the Sun or The Fate of the Stars or something like that. The first one could be called The Fate of the Force.
Yeah.
Like I like that one, feels like it evokes like this, like, ooh.
Right. It evokes that, and it still feels tied to like the religious aspect that we've been putting in there. So I like The Fate of the Force. For the last one, how do we feel about, this would be what, Star Wars Episode 12?
Yes.
Galactic Reckoning. How do you feel about Galactic Reckoning?
Oh, I'm thinking because I just watched all the Mission Impossible movies, so I'm like Dead Reckoning, Final Reckoning,
right.
But like the Reckoning of the Sun, or what did you say? The what reckoning?
Galactic Reckoning.
Oh, Galactic Reckoning. Yeah, I'll say soft hold.
Okay. Weirdly, the second one is like, I feel like the hardest one to name.
All right, so what happened? There's like this
there's an on the run element, there's like a fugitive element, building a team, infiltrating high society.
Yeah. Like the word that came into mind, this doesn't work, but the end of the line, like I like that kind of evokes something, like they're kind of backed into a corner.
They're scrambling, they're rebuilding.
We can't be, rebuild is almost like hopeful though. It kind of has to be like the villains are winning sort of idea in a way, or on track to.
This is too much like a Transformers title, but like, in fact, it is one, but I'm changing one word.
Okay.
But like the dark side of the sun.
Oh yeah. Ooh, the dark side of the sun. But that's a play on so many other things too. So it could. It feels like it's too many words.
It does.
But I love it. I'm trying to think if there's another. Because we do have to have something about the suns or something like that. And maybe that's that the final movie needs that. Something about the stars. The fall of the sun. The fall of the stars. The fall of the sun. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's something.
Star Wars, The Fall of the Sun. Oh, something. The second one's got to have something with hope.
I know. I was just thinking that too.
Yeah, the end of hope, the last hope.
The Last Hope is pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's got like a play on A New Hope, The
Yeah.
Last Hope. Yeah,
Yeah. I
as they're
think,
kind of like they're gathering a team up. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, The
yeah, yeah,
Last Hope.
yeah. Okay.
So The Fate of the Force, The Last Hope.
Yeah, Galactic Reckoning
Galactic Reckoning
is
doesn't
almost like
fit
too
that.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like because it's got to be kind of like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah,
Is like
exactly.
these titles, you know, The Fate of the Force, The Last Hope. But we something with the sun now is like when because that's where this big thing is going to be. Um,
The End of the Sun. Or maybe this is the Fall of the
mm,
Sun. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sun suck, the sun sucking. Um,
Death of the Sun.
Death of the Sun. Okay. Do we need a thesaurus out?
Maybe.
Yeah.
The extinguishing of the sun. The exterminating of
The
the
great
sun.
extinguisher.
Yeah. I mean, you
Uh,
said the draining of the sun earlier.
yeah. That draining isn't doesn't evoke
No.
epicness. Sounds like a wound you're draining to me, or a bathtub. Um so there's sun and there's also star.
Yeah.
Star
And
Wars.
Star fits well in there, but it's like Star Wars is at the beginning of the title,
yeah.
and it's like, I mean, I guess this isn't really the same because they stylized their titles differently, but like I guess Marvel had Captain Marvel and the Marvels, so
I know, yeah.
maybe it's okay, but I don't know. It
Yeah.
feels weird to put Star in a Star Wars title.
Yeah.
Although,
Okay,
and they're gonna
how
have the
about
last Starfighter, so I guess
true.
I can eat
Yeah.
shit. So-
Yeah, exactly. Shut the fuck up. Okay, so here's like another like naming style that I think is interesting. Like Star Wars Sun and Moon. But like
Mhm.
obviously no moon, but sun and something maybe. Sun and sword.
Yeah.
Sun and something, or something and sun. No, that something and sun is too
Sanford
much
and
like
Son.
a business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lawyers.
Yeah, I mean, there's also just like this might be too brief, also, but just Sunset.
I like the imagery.
Mm-hmm.
The last sunset. Like I feel like it still needs like some.
I know, and we just used
zhuzhing.
last in the previous title,
We did.
so we're kind of out of luck on that one.
God, we're gonna be stuck here a while.
I know.
I feel like. The Sun.
End of days.
Sun Junior. Yeah, the end of days. Rapture. Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere.
We're getting The Godfather. Okay, they're called the New Hope. We already did something with Hope.
Right.
We have things being sucked away, planets dying, the great undying, the rebirth of the return of the, well, yeah, there's always return of the revenge of the
Battle for the Sun.
God,
I know.
just, maybe I'm just so picky. I don't know. Are you picky?
I'm picky also.
Okay.
It's just discouraging when those first two came pretty quick, and now the third one is we're nowhere close.
That's a really, yeah. That means that there's something terrible is going on. All right, so let's name. Okay, I'm just going to go through all of the Star Wars names currently,
Yes.
and so maybe something will come. So we got Phantom Menace.
Right.
It's crazy, very cool. Attack of the Clones.
Mhm.
Okay, I get it. Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
Mhm.
New Hope. Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. Like I almost wanted to be like the true religion, Star Wars, the true religion, but not use religion, because that's the big story as well as like
Right.
what is the true story. Star Wars: The True Story is what it could be called.
The Final Prayer.
Okay. The legends are real.
That legend is a good word to circle around.
The Return of the Legend. No. Legends Are Us.
The Legend Reborn.
The Legend Returns.
I mean, this feels closer than we've been.
Yeah. We could bring in like some sort of Jedi or Sith or something to evoke something. But I also think something about it could be the Legend of the Sun.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling like Legend of the Sun is closest at the moment, and for me, because I do think it needs something about Stories of the Stars, Sun Man,
Legend of the Jedi.
Legacy of the Jedi. I know that's like that's been used in some stuff. It might have to be something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think Legend of the Jedi. Yeah.
Okay. So that means the episode, I mean, whatever. We'll claim that it's going to be episode 10.
Yes.
Episode 10, The Fate of the Force. Episode 11, The Last Hope.
Good one. Yeah.
And episode 12, Legend of the Jedi.
Yeah.
We got there.
And, for the audience, I've cut out a lot of the blank space, but we sat in silence a couple times.
We did,
there.
yeah.
But that's important. That's what this process is. And holy hell, this has been
a process.
An episode of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And we now need to write the script. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Like this is very this is great.
Is that producer that was just off camera, are they still there? Are they still with us?
Oh, there's a note.
Uh-oh.
They left some. Oh, we took too long.
Oh. You can't rush perfection, and that's obviously what we gave you. So
yeah. Well, they said
they said all the studios got bought, and it's one big monopoly now. They're not looking for.
You got the new ideas. Too? Yeah. Well, right on. There we go, Chris.
Okay, we did
it. We have succeeded again in creating the next line of films. Mm-hmm. And for our video watchers, you have seen the sun fall behind us in set. We are committed
our lighting
to bringing good stories.
Changed.
Yes, exactly. It is gross now. It is so dark in here. You wouldn't actually know. But my camera's doing a lot of work, basically. It is much darker than it seems. But thank you, Chris, once again. Can't wait to have you back. I don't know how we top this. Certainly, it'll be less.
Well,
movies.
We have, I don't know. We've cleared the 3-hour benchmark. And hey, next time, hour number 4, we're coming for you.
Ooh, we got to start really early next time.
We do.
And then we have a lunch break.
Yeah.
And then, it's going to start turning into like an all day, like writer's room thing.
I mean, speaking of Star Wars, those George Lucas talk shows, if you've ever watched any of those, those go a while. So
yes.
This is
There's
in
a lot
the
to
same
say.
vein. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, on, Chris. Thank you. Appreciate it. And folks, that's a wrap. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, and may the Force be with you. Bye-bye. Wind Reel and Print is a podcast by Salad Brain Productions.
You can find us on Instagram at Wind Reel and Print Pod.
You can also find us wherever you get your podcasts.
And please, if you like the show, leave a rating and review.
We'll see you next time.